series of the day. That was way too William Shatner for me. Every word became its own sentence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
VG versus Team Secret. Hopefully, out of the two series we were looking at this afternoon, I hope that LGD was going to be such a great series, and it against EG, and it ended up being a bit of a disappointment.
They
But you never know.
got crushed quite hard.
They
actually.
did. They really did.
Especially in the second game. I think the series is going to be closer. Just because both teams... So Vici on the first day went 0-4 and did not look good at all.
Yeah.
And they've kind of found some new steam today. They've gone 3-1 today, so their current score is 3-5. They got a 2-0 over Newbie, and they got, I believe, a draw with... Who was it? Serenity.
Yep.
And Secret are the same score as them, actually. They're 3-5, because I think Secret did a bit better yesterday, but have done a bit worse today. That's how I remember it, anyway, off the top of my head.
You're waiting for me to scroll up and see it, aren't you?
I am waiting to see. I mean, I know they're the same score.
Yeah,
I know
so
that. It was more about how it went yesterday.
There's three teams currently tied at 3-5, and it's VG, Newbie, and Team Secret. I do want to point out, though, that the games you had from VG Gaming today were against two Chinese teams.
Yes.
And I always find the Chinese versus Chinese matchups are a little bit more skewed. So I'm interested to see how they go against a Western team, going up against Team Secret.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, we can't confirm now. I'm just seeing it here. That Secret did go 1-3 yesterday. So today they're 2-2. Which is... Actually, I thought they did better yesterday than 1-3. So I was wrong on that.
Yeah, they were 1-3, VG was 0-4.
Yeah.
So by one game, Team Secret were ahead.
Secret have managed to grab at least one important draw. They got a draw with VP, which could turn out to be a really important game later down the line for maybe contesting for 4th place in this group. Or perhaps if they do really well from now on, they can still reach that top 3, but they need to start pretty much cleaning house.
Yeah,
to get there. So
it's a very rough run-up when you've got 3 losses to your name, but their advantage is that right now in the 5 losses to your name, like right now in the group, there's the 4th to 6th position all have 3 losses.
Yeah.
So kind of all you need to do is just like push them down a little bit. It's Optic, it's Pain. Everyone's kind of like struggling in this group. I think VGJ Storm being the only ones who have been really solid, where they've got a 5-1 result, and they got a game up against Pain right now.
Serenity are also 3-3, and they're facing Newbie next. So,
and Serenity have had a pretty decent day today.
I think so too.
They won 1 against VG Gaming. They actually looked quite strong in the game too that they were able to win.
And that was it.
And now they're up against Newbie.
Now they're playing Newbie, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be
last round.
That'll be a fun series for them.
Yep. Well,
Draft.
let's see how it goes.
No Arc Warden. Oh.
These are some pretty different bands. Both. Well, we've seen some of these heroes. Enchantress we see all the time. And we've seen a decent amount of Pugna bands, we've seen a decent amount of Weaver bands, and we've seen a decent amount of Necro bands. So very few Arc Warden bands.
Where's the IO toss-up? Because VG can now go
they
IO
will
Gyrocopter.
pick IO.
And you know Team Secret are not going to block pick it. And, it's bleep, bleep, bleep.
Bloop. Are they going to grab the Gyro, though? They get the Crystal Maiden. They 100% were prepared for this, so this is their solution.
Yep. Yeah, you doubt Puppy ever goes into a draft and says, I don't know what's happening.
Here comes Gyro. I don't think they care. They don't care.
Very, very predictable.
So, Vici played a game earlier against Serenity with this, and they won. And then the other game they lost. They did not have IO Gyro, I believe. I don't think we've seen this hero combination lose more than one game. We saw OG beat it with Morphling against LGD, and every other IO Gyro game I have seen has been IO Gyro dominating. Actually, that's maybe not fair to say. There's been 1 or 2 games that were relatively close with the IO Gyro, but they generally did very well.
Gyro actually has a 40% win rate currently with 10 games.
So have I just seen all the wins?
Maybe you have. He has a 40% win rate.
I would imagine he's been almost only picked with IO.
Trying to find it.
IO's win rate is 38.46, so yeah, I guess so.
Heroes with a lower win rate than that. The lowest, which has more than 1 game, we're going to say 7 games, is Huskar with a 14.29% win rate.
So Huskar's won 1 game. Windranger's won 2 games out of 10.
Yeah.
Rubik's won 1 game out of 5.
Tiny is at a 37%, but he's played 27 times.
Wow. Some of these win rates are really low, actually, compared to what I thought.
The most. Wraith King's been played the most with a 41% win rate.
Yeah. The hero that's been played a lot with the clearly best win rate is Crystal Maiden, and the second most is Mirana.
Yeah.
Maiden's 74% win rate.
It's not too
Yep.
bad. It's almost as good as the Wyvern 75%.
Oh, damn, Wyvern's higher.
For 16 games.
And it just lost too.
And then you go even higher, 13 games, and almost 77% for Enchantress.
Enchantress is a pretty good hero, I think.
Wow, has PL really got 81% win rate? Oh, okay.
11 games, though, so that's a bit
Yeah.
smaller sample size. But yeah,
Yeah.
PL is one of those heroes that get picked late and just owns in the draft. So yeah.
Again, damn you, VG Gaming. And we
Yep,
move
there
on.
goes Enigma. I'm really surprised Io Gyro's... I think that's the one that stands out to me the most out of all the win rates we looked at. Io Gyro has a bad win rate. Gyro 40% and Io's even lower. Io's been picked 3 more times than the Gyro has at 13. Gyro's at 10. And together they've won... I'm going to assume here that Gyro hasn't been picked without it. It could be the case 1 or 2 games, but most of the games we've seen definitely been with Io. They just... I thought their win rate was like 65 or higher. I'm really surprised. I must have seen all the wins.
So TNC picked it without Gyrocopter.
Yeah.
They picked it with a drone and a TA. Optic Gaming picked it without a Gyrocopter. They picked it with a Monkey Lashrak. So did Team Liquid. Actually, there's a couple of games where Io's been picked up and
Those
not
are
with a Gyrocopter.
I think those were the 3.
And
You
Team
just
Liquid,
found all 3.
Team Liquid, just Io and Murano.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Now
then
all the others
everything
are
else
Io
is-
Gyro. Is there a Gyro without Io?
Liquid did it again. They did it with Huskar Bloodseeker. VGJ Thunder did it with Huskar.
Oh,
as
so
well.
there are Gyro games without Io. A couple, actually. No. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a couple where the combination's been
Moving
broken
on,
up.
they're not winning very much.
I'm sorry to bring stats into it. Numbers suck. I hate numbers.
Actually, I think that's pretty relevant, though, because what stands out is when teams consider this pairing extremely powerful and it has a 40% win rate, or the heroes individually aren't doing well and also not doing too hot together,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting to see because it seems like Vici Gaming, for example, just hang on to it and don't really mind. But sometimes the judgment of the players, you're like, oh, I saw this Io Gyro in so many games, it's so good, and then you don't look at the end result very much of how it ends up going. So, all right,
The man with the deepest voice in the game.
love this hero. Thanks for creating the universe. I like the universe. He created the universe.
E.T. actually built the universe.
Read the lore.
I
I don't read the lore. I hope I'm right.
I've never read the lore on E.T.
I hope I got that one right.
Oh, this guy. This guy creates the universe. He looks like something out of like a Swedish rock film. I can imagine that. Where they open a lot of bottles.
So that was another hero that... Sorry to cut you off on your very important tangent.
That's totally right.
This is another hero that has a relatively low win rate.
Hmm?
Wasn't it? Wasn't it like 35% or something? 37?
Tiny 37%.
Yeah. So, all right.
But
I
then-
guess
but then
Vici
again with
Vici are just like, if you stack up enough negatives, then you can have a really high win rate.
Like it's like apart we are nothing. Together we are the A team. Actually, no, the A team were really good separate.
Yeah.
That's a really bad example.
Yeah.
It's the Spice Girls. They're the Spice Girls. Terrible apart, very marketable together.
This is such a marketable lineup. Excellent. I can't wait for Tiny and Gyro to drop their mixtape. Actually, I've heard Gyro from Slacks. Yeah, I don't think that would be very
Well,
marketable.
you got it right. Like Io is high pitched percussion. He'll be like the flute player. He'll be the unique instrument in the band. Tiny is the.
I wonder what Tiny plays.
Tiny is the drummer. 100% drums, man. He's the big bass drum. And Gyrocopter is the voice.
He's there.
He's there. He's the backup singer.
He's just there for the drinks. Oh, this is a pretty good pick actually. Batrider is one of the classic counter picks to Tiny. Really, really good. Tiny hates the sticky napalm for the turn rate. Doesn't deal very well with napalm at all. It's also good against Gyrocopter for similar reasons. And with Vici already showing these 2 cores, they could try to get a 3rd core that stands well against the Batrider and put their Tiny mid. I think that's the last solution they have to avoid these core matchups because you don't want to dual lane mid, right? So you gotta get a bit creative here. Maybe something like Phantom Lancer, or we could see is Weaver still in? No, they banned Weaver themselves, so they can't go that route. Slark is pretty bad. Yeah, there's actually just not that many options. They could go for the Faceless Void that they've played before, but I kind of really don't like Void.
Void
right now in
seems
this
really dangerous against ET.
Yeah, it's so.
Legion Commander.
That's a curveball.
And
I haven't
now
seen
for
this hero
something
yet.
completely different.
Has that hero been picked yet?
Allow me to consult
I think
the
it might
Book
be
of
his
Armor.
first game.
Legion Commander has had 2 games. Won one, lost one, it seems.
All right, IG. We did actually see that. Scrolled all that on before.
So VGJ played it against EG, and you had IG played against Mineski.
And IG won, and VGJ Thunder lost, I believe. Where? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yes, IG won.
Okay, interesting. So obviously, Vici are picking this as a counter pick. They want to lane the Legion against Batrider, and then they also have duel against Clinks later on, which is actually really good. A Blade Mail Legion eats this guy alive if he catches the duel during strafe, you just dead. And in addition to that, it's a great setup for relocate too, because of how long duel lasts. You actually have time to relocate in and assist in that duel kill. So.
Yep.
Very good pairing. I like this pick here. I think it's pretty good.
I'm liking the offlane too. Like, not even the offlane. Like the press the attack to work with Io. Like the sustain you get from the 2 of them.
Yeah.
To just keep pushing, and it could just be Io and Gyro Cup going together.
They could even play Io Legion. That's actually true. That's pretty strong.
You just give Gyro the space with something like I would say Venge, but whatever else is good for that safe lane support. But then you're still stuck with Tiny in mid.
Wyvern.
It's Oracle.
Secondary counter to Batrider.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Vici Gaming has managed to draft a lineup with 5 heroes that all have 50% win rate or less in this tournament. The majority of them less than 40. Gyro at 40, Io at 37 or 38, Tiny at 38, Legion Commander at 50, and Oracle at 20.
Yeah.
If you add up all these numbers, you get a combined win rate of about 160%. That's really bad.
Hey, they have a 160% chance to win this game.
That's how... I'll ask Nahas later. I don't think that's how it works. We didn't learn that much about probability in school, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not. I remember my lessons.
Okay.
Math is one of the very few things I was good at school.
I love probability, by the way. I'm just pretending. And that sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't.
It really did.
Probability is pretty fascinating, actually, when you get into it a bit.
I love probability.
When you get into it, it's actually very interesting. And some things are very surprising to you. I can show you an example later.
Thank you very much.
Just remind me.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
I will remind you to surprise me with probability. Back to the game of Dota 2. VG Gaming have really good counters to the Batrider on so many fronts now. Like, I'm not saying like relocate save needs to happen again, but Legion Commander, press Oracle, obviously with a false promise. It's difficult for Team Secret to get that grab onto Tiny and get the instant kill. So it's on with Sustained Fight and Troll Warlord.
Oh, that's
going to answer the call.
That is another hero we've barely seen.
That's a mid-1 Troll Warlord too.
Looks like it. I think that's one of the heroes that should do pretty well in lane against Tiny. Just Whirling Axis, grab CS. Tiny's way of dominating the lane is very much about using the tree and the damage advantage to just grab a lot of denies, and if Troll can blind him first, he can probably grab those key CS, and then you're pretty happy. I wonder if... Can tree throw miss? I don't think it can, right? I actually know. I think it can miss.
We have another thing to start testing on the laptop at the back later on.
Yeah, we've been testing some interactions with Strafe. That's been very interesting.
Yeah.
Very educational. You forget about it after a minute. You don't actually even know how it works.
Well, I just remember Fog throwing his hands up in the air going, I don't understand mechanics anymore.
No, I remember him throwing his hands up in the air when OD Pixel... So it was OD testing this guy. So he was testing Strafe, different interactions. He was like, oh, so we're going to try throwing a tree at Clinks while he's strafing. And he was like, oh, it went right through him. And he tried like 3 times, and then Fog was like, they're on the same team, idiot. put the Clinks in the other team. And then that changed it a bit, actually, surprisingly, but not as much as you would think. But yeah, that was fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't have OD test your interactions. It's not good.
Yeah, this is why we always call up. You know, like Fox makes an event, he sends a message to like Tsunami and say, "Hey, Tsunami, can you test this? Like this doesn't seem right."
I need an adult.
Yeah.
Can I get someone competent?
I require someone with a very extraordinary beard to test this. That's a requirement for testing mechanics in Dota.
I require someone with a set of skills. Just a set of skills that OD Pixel does not have. So, looking at these drafts, we made it a lot of fun of the win rates of Vici Gaming's lineup, obviously, but I think in its entirety it actually looks pretty good. They have a good amount of ways of starting fights with both the Tiny and Legion Commander. They have Save with Oracle and Io. They have strong team fight with the Gyrocopter, and they have the laning options, at least, against this Bat Rider. So obviously Secret, by picking that 4th, did leave a bit of leeway for Vici Gaming to solve that problem in their draft. And on the Secret side, I think they're very reliant on Bat Rider in this game. I think Fata needs to have a good time so they can get this Blink Dagger up and running and start fights with the Lasso. But if they do, they have so much follow-up damage. They have so much follow-up to this Lasso. All of Elder Titan stuff, they have Strafe, they have Troll ulti, and there's also a Kristen main in this game.
Yeah. Well, let's get a bit of a bearing for our lanes for where everyone did actually end up. So CM and Klink's up on the top lane, up against Legion and Oracle. That puts in towards the mid lane. It will be Ori's Tiny to go against mid one's Troll Warlord. And damn, 11's already being aggressive. He wants to find out as much information as possible. No surprise that it's an Io and a Gyrocopter on bottom lane against Fada. He's just throwing out. Do they have a stick yet? They do not have a stick yet. They will need to buy one of those, but it's Yapsaw and Fada teaming up on bottom. And look how much they're already centering the camp. They know how Yapsaw plays this. Stack, then Spirit run at you and kill you. That's the way it works.
I was talking to Fogged earlier today about this Elder Titan, and he said that a lot of players in the past have gone 1-1-1 build, and that the 1-2 build seems to be favored a lot more nowadays. So we're going to see if Yapsaw is onto that trend or has his own idea.
Puppy went for Nova to begin with, so he doesn't have the Frostbite for control, but 11's losing a lot of life. There goes the Nova. Puppy doesn't get the bounty room, but 11 copying a lot of damage from Ace's searing arrows, but Puppy needs to survive a little longer. It will not happen. Too much damage with the Fortune's End. They find the kill. Paparazzi's not a healthy man on bottom. They're battling under Spirit and getting sticky napalmed up too.
That was a very clever skill point in Press the Attack, by the way, from 11. That was very nice.
Oh, Yapsaw.
That situation.
How much damage? Plus 30. Into Paparazzi. That's 2 napalm stacks on him. He's got stick charges, thanks to the fact that both Lanham as well as Paparazzi ran up and grabbed themselves the sticks. That's why they actually were in peril range.
Lanham wants to take damage right now. He's trying to take damage because he wants to heal Paparazzi, and he doesn't have overcharge, so he's just aggroing the creeps to get hit here and heal up with the Tango.
He's got 7 napalm charges on him, but Fada's too low to really make any kind of play from it.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, the attacks hurt, but yep, they're all good now.
Yep.
Mid lane, I'm curious to see how this lane goes with the Troll versus Tiny. By the way, we should mention... No, never mind. The runes were 2 for 2. I actually thought 3 runes went to Vici, but they didn't. I still feel like Tiny's fine in this lane, but it's one of the better heroes against him, the Troll. So I'm kind of expecting this lane to be a draw. We'll see how it goes. He missed.
Paparazzi's looking for another kill. Flat Cannon comes off cooldown. It's like, hey, Yapsaw, can you stand close, please? They oblige.
Yeah, I like this idea from Vici Gaming in this lane. They know that they're going to be pressured a decent amount by this Bat Rider, but if they can just keep pushing in the lane with Flat Cannon, they limit Fata's options of playing this aggressively. They secure a lot of CS for themselves. And Bat Rider is pretty bad at CSing on the tower, so he needs to use mana to get these CS, and that is an indirect way of pressuring the lane, basically. Just forcing him to use resources to grab the kills.
Well, they're going up on top lane. 11 wants to have a bit of a crack over towards Ace. He was already able to hit a 2-man overwhelming odds. Held the Press the Attack back. But a lot of chip damage. So bottom lane's got all the survivability they want. Tiny's having a fantastic time CSing in mid. He's gone 9-6 against the 9-0 of the Troll Warlord. And bottom lane's just zoned out.
Yep. I'm actually a bit surprised with this mid. I thought Tiny was going to be fine, but not that he was going to own.
The live. 11's coming underneath the tower. Puppy doesn't have Frostbite. Tries to juke it around the tower, but Ace may be okay with this. If he can get the last hit into 11, he doesn't have mana to use the TP scroll, but with Quelling Blade, he can just cut his way to freedom.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to TP back. Ideally, he wants to stay here and get regened up by a courier. Courier usage. It is turning into flying in 10 seconds. So.
They're going again on bottom. Oh, this Flat Cannon damage Fada as well as ET just can't stand against it. And 11 actually...
Oh, he died on purpose.
Okay.
Just ran into tower. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Ace gets the kill on that.
Yeah. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say the fact that you died literally next to the tier 1 tower was on purpose.
Okay, just
I do remember a
saving
specific
time.
Admiral Bulldog misclick at TI3, actually, where he just ran his Nature's Prophet into the enemy team and got killed. I don't think this was that one. It has happened before, but it's very rare that people just click somewhere and just stop playing the game.
It's like, I didn't realize. He just stops for a drink of water. The bottle covers his eyesight so he doesn't see the screen anymore. Hey, guys, sorry. This is why we have water, boys. They're ready to go top lane again. 11's underneath the tower. And there's
so
the attack
aggressively.
coming towards Ace. And, well, Puppy, again, still without that Frostbite. Can't just get the lockdown for the extra Duke.
And Ace needs to be a bit careful in this lane and in general with playing against Oracle, because obviously this Fortune's End can purge Strafe. I do believe it does hit during Strafe. It doesn't count as a projectile. This is why we need to look this or test these things, because it actually matters a lot whether the thing you want to purge Strafe with is a projectile that can miss on Strafe, such as Nullifier.
Yeah.
Because that is not a counter.
Oh, 11. Press the attack. He has to use it quickly. The Searing Arrow won't be enough damage. Same with the Puppy attack, but Fenrir may not be fine. Puppy's got Nova. He can even Mango to do it. And in fact, that's what happens. He could have stick charged, actually. Kept that health regeneration coming up.
He's got plenty of mangoes. I think the stick charge is actually more important at this stage to keep him alive if there's a fight.
Wondering how long until you see the rotation from Team Secret. Mid 1 doesn't seem to be having a good time against Ori. He's a full level behind. And as far as CS goes, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but he was forced to walk all the way back to base. That's the reason why he's so far back.
That's a really big loss. Walking back is basically the same as dying.
Yeah. Long way behind. Bounty runes are up for the 5-minute mark. It looks like it's going to be 3 to Secret, 1 to VG.
Yep.
This bottom lane just can't move off the lane.
Oh, Yeps actually went 2-1 build. So really banking on landing that stun. Oh, there's a lot of stickies on bottom.
And the hit. Oh, they just keep the Firefly going right on top of Paparazzi. Needs to get a little closer, but Paparazzi, he's got the help of Lanham. These stick charges just built up so much.
It's hard for Batrider to go on the Rocket Barrage level 2. He has to have a lot of stickies to grab this kill, because with that sustain, if he's next to Paparazzi for just a few seconds, he gets shredded apart by the barrage. And that's exactly what happened. So Vici Gaming keeping it cool there. Kind of baited him to go, actually. Usually 5 stickies is a kill, but they knew their limits.
Yep. They just hold their ground. Now it's the Yamso who's the man who has to stay in the lane. If he can do so.
Oh, he is in trouble.
Flat cannon, it's going to hit again. Homing missile, that one's it's level 1 only, so Yabsor should be okay.
Yeah.
It's Ori who's actually in. Alright, 11 came in. Give him a little press the attack, and mid 1 can no longer keep up, and they'll rotate over for a Shrine. So really nice that the offlaner as well as the mid are able to make the most efficiency on Shrine.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oracle was still even able to get the experience on top lane while that was going on. And the push on bottom's pretty heavy.
Yeah, Oracle's a strong support to have levels on early on. So much magic damage output. Can start looking to aggress on Puppy here. He might cast out Nuke or 2. No, he's holding it for now. But, just combining their spells in the top lane is actually so much. Oh, actually, 11 is maxing press the attack. Interesting. That's very unusual. You almost always see the overwhelming odds maxed out first.
Yeah, I'm wondering why that's the case. Like, now he goes in for press the attack. They go in towards Puppy, but Ace, he deals so much damage.
Oh, with a rotation from Yapsor.
Yeah, putting the spirit into.
Oh, that's a late TP, Fenrir. You're
and
gonna
now
frostbite.
Puppy. Yeah, okay, yeah. Got the frostbite to cancel the TP. Yeah.
I'm hearing troll ulti.
He's farming in the jungle.
Yep. That's hype.
You got excited, did you?
It's one of those global sounds you hear and you're like, oh, something's happening. It's like, no, don't worry. It's like when you hear the Pudge ulti and you're like, oh, who did he hook? Who did he hook?
Like
and he's
Centaur.
eating a centaur crane. It's like, okay. No.
Dire's middle
Like,
tower is
thanks,
under
Pudge.
attack.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least
Thanks. Was that on purpose?
no, it wasn't.
I'm going to start saying thanks Pudge instead of thanks Purge.
Yeah.
That's good.
Paparazzi is just pushing this bottom lane so hard. That's why the Firefly is down from Farda, trying to mop up the creep wave, but it's a little off the target. So they still get some extra damage. Ori does his rotation as well as the Tiny. Hit the daytime, so welcome to all the vision. 3 heroes on bottom lane for VG to add pressure. But this gives more space to mid 1.
Yeah. At the same time, though, Oracle is actually not the worst support to have standing against Troll. You can grab the CS with Purifying Flames, and Troll can't really aggress on you. You can just disarm
dead?
him.
No, Ori. He sees the TP coming in from Puppey. Frostbite, no, he'll start with a Nova on the edge of the call down. So protection available from VG, and they just Secret cannot keep the chase going. Even mid-1 rotated for this.
That second call-down missile just slowed Troll so much. Couldn't pursue it at all. How much is the slow percentage? Is it 60 or something? Yeah, it's 60. Almost cuts him down to 100 move speed.
There is one huge thing that's coming the way of Team Secret. It's the fact that Ace is getting a good start on the Clinks, which probably means that this Clinks will have a lot more of an influence than the last 2 Clinkses we've had on this stream.
Yes, absolutely. He is off to a good start. We've seen a Clinks earlier today that got farmed, I think. I'm trying to remember who it was. We did have one Clinks game with a very farm safe thing. Was it Ame? It was
Radiant's top tower.
It was Ame against Windstrike. Ame was Clinks that game. That's when they had the Huskar mid.
Oh, yeah.
He had a very farm safe lane Clinks, and they just destroyed that game with their laning of Huskar mid. Not going to be the case this time around. Those Secret's laning stage has not gone all too well. It's also not been awful. This lead is definitely not the biggest deal.
Yeah.
It's more
pretty
the
manageable. Like it's you're 1.3, 1.4k gold ahead.
it's the implications of what happens later in the game that I'm worried about.
Legion gonna try this? He's got duel available. Puppey is nearby, gets the frostbite off, and Ace becomes a winner. They relocated him, but it came so late. Ace can't run out of it. Yapsol will arrive. The call down does this work, and Ori tossing around the poor Crystal Maiden. 6 charges and raindrops protected for a little bit. As Yapsol, well, the relocate, they go back to bottom lane, completely safe.
That's pretty even trade.
It's the Clinks getting the +10.
Clinks got 10 damage.
And a nice denial of the bounty
That's
from mid
not
one.
bad. Yeah, that was a really early duel compared to when the relocate came in. I like the idea. The moment he dueled, I thought Oracle's level 6, and then he was just going to save him.
Yeah.
But I looked over, it's like 5, and okay.
Maybe they had a little bit of miscommunication.
Bottom lane. They should know Ace is here. The spirits exploded.
He copped a ball.
Yeah, they're backing off.
Well, that's mid 1. Thinks about the mid lane. Yapsol. He's got +51 damage, but that's still a Legion commander with duel near a tier 1 tower. That could always spell problems. Ori's got a lot of space up on top. He's actually just free farming his blink deck, and no one's there. The Batrider's left.
Yeah.
Fada's actually going jungle stacking.
And this is the big problem. It's like you look at the gold leads, like it's 1k, whatever. Now it's 2k, just barely. It's a lead that's relatively significant right now, but shouldn't matter that much. It's the concern I have for Secret is how poor this Batrider is. Like that's the real big issue. Is that 2k lead is pretty much Batrider's missing net worth.
Yep.
That's a slight exaggeration, but like 1k to 1500, right? He's 1200 behind the Legion commander. And we said in the start, this Batrider needs items in this game to initiate the fights for his team, and Fatz's laning stage has just not gone well at all bottom. It's one of the limitations of this hero is if you're not winning the lane, it's so hard to farm, you know, like...
Oh, maybe this is a good opportunity. They go on towards the middle lane after 11. Puppey need to get that extra control. The Stomp's too far away, and the attacks in range won't do the work. Meanwhile, up on top, Fada trying to drag Ori back into the Firefly and back in range of the tier 1 tower. Mid 1, does he have that extra attack? Ori gets the kill onto Fada in returns. He used that combination. Legion will lose his life. And the support, Fenrir, that's a long channel and a long flight. Yapsol puts him to sleep. He doesn't put Paparazzi to sleep. Chasing up the mid one with the cooldown. Here's that slow phase boost back off cooldown, but mid one just starts the TP. The second he gets up the hill. So he gets away to safety. No more stuns available.
And that's a lot of space for Clinks. That was very nicely played by Secret. Even though, at the same time, Fata does die top to the Tiny. At the very least, Ace almost got a tower.
Not like this, not like this. Blink reveal, Ori just combos him and then punches him.
It's going to be a tower trade, looks like.
Looks like 11 wants to go on bottom lane.
Oh, maybe not, reload.
Chasing after Ace, he's going to go for the duel. It's off cooldown right now, so it's just the IO coming down, but it's enough to buff him up, and Ace will go not down during the duel, but still dead.
He is not a loser, he's just dead.
I think there's only winners in duels. Like, loser doesn't lose damage. This isn't like a silence. Like,
well, you're still a loser. You just didn't lose damage.
Participation.
You lost your life. That's pretty bad. That's worse. Actually, in Dota, sometimes that would be better. Imagine if you lost damage. If you could lose the duel and survive, but you lost 10 damage. Like, Okay, picture this.
Okay.
Duel is a new, like, duel gets changed, so it's not a duel to the death. The duel just ends when the timer's up, and whoever is lower health loses damage, and whoever is higher health gains damage. So it doesn't kill. It just is a damage exchange, and then the heroes reset their health to what they were before he cast duel.
That's like guaranteed duel damage almost every single time then.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's what I'm saying. So
That's-
sometimes it's
that's-
better. What I was saying was
I
it's
thought-
better to die than lose damage, because that version would be broken. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying, Toby.
I don't know. Your version sounds pretty broken. I thought I'm
That's
the one
what
that
I
comes
said.
up with the
Just-
broken stuff.
Just pay attention. Just listen to what I'm saying, Toby. It's
you,
not-
You sound like a raving madman.
Is under attack.
I know I'm right, Toby.
Okay, you're spending way too much time with Slacks. Way too much time with Slacks. It's had a bad
I've
effect on
barely
you.
seen him this event.
Nah, he's hiding.
He's planning something really weird.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Um,
All right. Bad Rider TP bottom. Looks like Secret actually wants to try to fight for this tower.
he's got no blink dagger, but he got the drum charges up.
Oh, there's an
so
Oracle right behind with ulti.
yeah,
There's
there's
no
your
way.
run. More supports coming in. They want that lasso and 11. Well, he's already broken free, but the lasso didn't come in. So they didn't start with that. Ace has joined the fight as well. He has the Death Pact up, but Ori sees him running underneath the Sentry Wall. They just try and beat the crap out of it, but they don't get it. The call down whiffs quite heavily. Fada still wants the movement forward. Doesn't have the drum charge available just yet. But Sticky Napalm stacking up on the Legion Commander. Ori back in again with a Blink Dagger, going after Fada. Mid one has the homing missile coming towards him as well, so he wants to try and fight this one. The missile will connect. Puppey creating space with the freezing field, but mid one gets absolutely destroyed. ET, however, this is big from Yapsor. The perfect Spirit Stomp into Splitter, then the lasso. They get the extra control, but no, they don't. Press the attack, breaks him free. He's got the duel, but 11 burns to death. Latham staying in the fire and the flames. He has to move off to the side, creates the space required as Team Secret. The fight even split up so hard that Ori was chasing the support Puppey off to the side.
Dire's
That looked good, but it looked so extended that VG could reposition.
This was a really awkward fight, just overall. The way it started, they see the Clinks, they jump in with Tiny, he runs away. They call down nothing, and it's this awkward poke and prod where nobody really commits, and then when Secret really commit, Vici still had enough in the tank to just sustain, because, again, the Bat Rider can't really get in and deal the damage. And Troll, right now, this is my problem with Troll, okay? So I think this hero is really bad this patch, personally, and the reason is I feel like he needs so much time to come online. And in this game, Mid One is trying to make his hero relevant earlier by rushing Vlad's, but, like, what
Here we
does he
go
do
again.
in the fight? Yeah, so we're going to see it here. They saved 11 up to full health. They've used Oracle ulti. There's the tiny jump, call down completely whiffs. And now we have these awkward, like, 10 to 15 seconds where the heroes are running in circles, and Secret are just slowly getting prodded while Vici Gaming heal up their heroes. They're healing with Io. They can heal with the Oracle. See, this toss avalanche actually fails on the Bat Rider, but damage is slowly being dealt. Io is being healed. In turn, that heals Gyro. And you just see the economy battle slowly but steadily favoring Vici Gaming because of their healing.
Yeah.
And while this combo is good, there's no damage left.
Yeah, there was no follow-up. Like,
There's no damage left.
They get the Firefly after that point. There was no setup. There was no control. Like, that's why you look for heroes like the Enigma to be picked up and then having a big AoE combination directly after it. But what is that combination? Yapsor does the work, but...
Yeah, the problem, again, like, Troll is not ready for this fight.
Yeah.
He's just not
and
ready,
now
and
Troll's
Clinks
gonna
was
die
low.
as well. Relocate's coming in. They guaranteed the kill. But now
Fata
Yapsor,
TP'd in.
he at least gets the stomp. Fada, be careful. Trying to run out. Puppey lets it go on the Oracle. You may have to false promise himself, but that's if he can get out of the lasso. He's just tanking all the damage because magical damage, Oracles don't care about that. They're too smart. Your intelligence doesn't reach them. Fada will get nuked down. Yapsor can get the stomp. Finally, it's brute force from Yapsor that gets the kill, but Ori begins his TP. There's no stun that will reach him in time.
Mid One bought
And
back
that was
as
a buyback
well.
for it too.
Oh. This Troll is so delayed in this game. It's a 7k gold lead now for Vici. It's starting to look really scary, and Secret, they're behind. And a lot of the times, we look at when a team's behind, okay, what's their comeback? What's the comeback plan? Do they look for a fight? Is there like some sort of key item that's going to change and swing this game around that will set them up for a fight? I'm just looking at this lineup, and all I see is this Troll
It's
just needing...
It's a Desolator for Clink, so they have a chance to just slip it and try and do Roshan. But the ping from Roshan came out from Fenrir like 10 seconds ago.
I think Mid One needs to find some sort of secret item hidden in the woods.
Um,
Some sort of hidden item that
you
will...
remember those hidden items which were in Warcraft 3 Dota?
Yeah, and when you played the campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had him like also on the Dota map.
Oh
They
yeah,
were on
when
the
the
Dota
yeah
map.
in the point whatever 9 patches where you had to summon something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Invoker patch, where you could summon Invoker by doing
Oh.
some things. Uh-oh.
Hello, Ace, run away!
Dude, that was hype. They all broke the smoke and they just stood there, and then they left.
It's just like, that was hype. That was totally hype. Hype.
What an awkward position to be. That was such an awkward moment. It's like, okay, guys, we're gonna smoke to the high ground. We're gonna jump them. Their smoke breaks, and they just stand there like, wait, what? And then they left. It's like, okay.
They're in the trees. They're in the trees, all right? I know this for a fact.
That's a funny situation.
But 11 wants to fight. He bought this blink dagger. He's just been itching for a battle ever since he got the damn thing. But no one from Team Secret is obliged.
They
They're
still
just
got the mid
holding
tower
back.
though, so they got what they really came for. The reason Vici wanted to smoke around here and get a jump was that it would secure their mid tower push, and since they just got it anyway.
How long are they going to wait here? All right, hang on. They have not moved from this triangle. Like
They're
this is-
standing
this is
under
it.
a ward, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know, Secret. No,
But
exactly
they don't
what's
know.
going-
Like it's going to time out in 1 second time, and they're going to say, "Look at the flower." Oh, hey boys, we will see.
Oh,
the
that's
entire
why.
time.
So now 11 is like, nice, they lost their ward. So now I'm gonna stay here, and now they won't see me. He's gonna start farming ancients. That's probably for the better.
Meanwhile, Farda's been farming up in the bottom lane, pushing it in. You're going to lose your tier 2 tower up on top Team Secret, but you've got the Hood of Defiance built up on the Batrider, so you can at least
Yes.
tank through a little bit more.
He still has so much ground to cover, right? I feel like this is a hard Batrider game because the only way he really gets a lasso that's reliable is probably with a blink dagger. But even then, there's the Oracle ulti to save and to press the attack. They have
Hey.
2 great counters.
Hey, as VG Gaming didn't have the vision this
Oh,
time
this
around.
is really nice for Secret if they pull this off.
They're
They
actually going
are.
to claim Roshan. I said with the Desolator they could potentially go down and do it, but VG Gaming have been caught napping. Ori is nearby, but it's Aegis the Immortal. Ace will
Ori.
grab it. Nori's just like, does he jump in? His blink
Cooldown
dagger
on
was
dagger.
on cooldown. He couldn't get in to blink into the pit and get the avalanche to cancel the TP out.
Wow, that's such.
And Ace, oh wait, is he actually a
man.
courier snipe too? No, he's going to TP out safely. He doesn't get everything.
That is such a steal. That's the biggest play for Secret all game.
That bought him time.
Wow.
That bought him huge amounts of time. You want to swing the probability chance around? That's the way to do it.
High risk, high reward.
I love how a team 2, which is like 6k ahead, decent amount of kills ahead, has a 51% chance to win this game according to win probability.
Yeah, that's. I still don't truly know how the Dota Plus algorithm works. If it takes pub statistics from all games, or if it takes it from a specific bracket, or what it uses. I would
lane.
not say this game is 50-50 right now.
Farda's just burning these drum charges. There's a homing missile on his tail, but this feels like a bait. If they chase it out, look at everyone coming down. Klings is ready to fight. They'll see so much information. The ball, it'll connect. 3 hits to kill off Lanham with the press the attack. It's not enough life to survive. Mid one's range axis will miss. I think that's like the 3rd time I've seen those miss, and the support has arrived. Ori under the cover! Swings! Avalanche! Toss! Wham! Bam! Thank you, EG! It's gonna be Vici taking the kill. I don't know why I'm thinking EG.
That's Secret.
There's a clap. Puppy on the run, and it's a lasso. They at least found Lanham again. He bought back to be part of this fight. Ace is on the run. Paparazzi will have the double kill, and Team Secret are gone.
That was such a great jump from Ori. Thank you, EG.
Thanks, EG! I don't know why. Welcome
Maybe
to-
he got
welcome
inspired.
to
No.
Bonkers Hour.
EG has picked Tiny, and they've been winning. And he's been watching EG. It's like, oh, Tiny has 38% win rate, but EG keeps winning. Maybe I should play like them. What would Samael do?
Okay, you
Thank
don't have to save me, man. I'm in my hole. Let me be buried. I done fucked up.
I'm not giving you credit for that. I'm just, you know.
You're a good.
I'm saving the show,
try
not
this,
you.
Let's try this cast. You cast this one properly, right?
All right, so Io died. That ain't good. But now Tiny comes in. This is hype. He's gonna jump. Good combo. There's the call down. I can play by play a lot better than this. By the way, I'm just making you look good. So there you go.
You are a true friend, Sind.
Absolutely.
Friendship wins games.
I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. Very humble. Humble, good guy.
Well, terrific fight. We come back live. Dire Observer Ward's down. They have a sentry as well. So that's actually an Observer and sentry down from VG Gaming. So they have a lot of information. They'll get rid of the Observer Ward on the hillside. They may have their own taken out if Puppy can get close enough to it. But at the moment, I don't think that's possible. Tier 2 tower looks pretty well doomed. You got the ET delaying things with Spirit Stomp.
Yeah, it's still... This tower is still just absolutely dead. And the bad news for Secret is, I mean, as bad as that fight was for them, they even had an Aegis, you know? Like, this Aegis was supposed to give them some sort of a comeback fight into the game. But, it just, yeah, it resulted in absolutely nothing. The Aegis was basically completely wasted in that fight. It did nothing, so...
Oh. The three-man
Not good.
smoke rotating between the Tier 2, Tier 3 tower. Puppy about to take it for the team. Jump in, duel 3 hits, winner! It really wasn't a
It
contest.
really wasn't. Absolutely. Does she say that randomly or when it's a short duel?
I think it's like when it's a really short duel, that's going to be a trigger line.
That was...
The Crystal Maiden did maybe 50 damage in return. Ace is looking at this top. Now, with the mech on Lanham, this is so difficult to find a kill. He's already got good armor. With the help of mid
still
1?
try.
Okay, no, mid 1's leaving.
Sorry, man. I still need 3 items.
I'm not online yet. I need my BKB. And he does. He still needs another 1,000 gold to get the BKB up and running.
Even then, it's tough. It's going to help a lot. At least he can start fighting with that BKB, but it still feels like he will need a 3rd item afterwards to truly be online with this hero.
Really good scan from Team Secret. They just want to check the cliffside again now they've lost their observer wards up there, just to see if they're safe. And yeah, they're revealing. They see the observer ward. Mid 1 can now feel a little bit more secure on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Ace has finally did what he started before. They burned the fortification VG to stop the Tier 1 tower snipe. But they're losing their mid. This is the last remaining outer tower for Team Secret, now gone.
11 just doesn't care about the stomp. He's just going to walk. What does this ghost do? He just walks into it? Oh.
He's a fan of the Supernatural,
Yeah.
not the TV series.
Oh. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, like I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? 11, 11, 11.
That's the Ghostbusters song?
Yes. It's the
and
Ghostbusters song.
the artist is called Supernatural?
No, Supernatural is the TV series.
But you said it wasn't the TV series.
Ghostbusters is a movie. Ah, details.
I'm so confused. You said Supernatural, and then you said not the TV series. So what's Supernatural?
As in the supernatural things in the world?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you said he's a fan of Supernatural, not of the Supernatural. So I thought it was a band.
There's probably a band called Supernatural.
Surely. I actually think this is really irrelevant for this game.
It really is. It totally is. Let's move back to the game, huh? PKB is done. So Min 1 finally has an item that allows him to stand in the fights. He actually went Vlad's and BKB in this game. Like, he really just wants to have that lifesteal.
Yeah.
The sustain for him and his team.
What do you buy next, though? Dagger? Sanjin Yasha?
SMY seems a little over the top with both Vlads. It seems a little mid
duel.
Yeah, inside the base as well. Don't know if this is going to be possible to do. Mid 1 comes out, and 11, yeah, he doesn't survive from it last so far. Wants to bring him in a little bit closer. The splitter, try to create more space. Call down is good, but the false promise. 11's getting life in Fenrir. He's in so deep. So is Ori. He jumps right on top of Puppy. Legion as well as the CM going down. AC's a new target. Lanham is it. He's already burned the mech. Got 10 stick charges available. Mid 1 can't get close enough, and Paparazzi burns his own BKB. Turns back into the fight. No flat cannon charges remaining anymore, but they found Farter outside the base. Puppy brought back to be involved still. But maybe Vici Gaming feel like they're forcing the issue a little too hard.
That duel was very ambitious. I like the idea of just going for it, but if he didn't... I don't think he had the backup of Tiny. I would imagine Ori would have just helped him there and got the kill and not hesitated. Yeah. Maybe he was worried that, oh, we're going to get counterplayed too hard by Elder, but Tiny shouldn't care. So he definitely could not have been in position. He gets out of that sleep really quickly. They kind of salvaged it, honestly. They got a buyback out of Puppy, and it ended up just being a 2-for-1 trade for them, with a really questionable jump out of 11.
Well, they want to go on to mid 1. Ori finds the target, relocates coming in. Crystal Maiden and ET are in the neighborhood, but they need to keep Troll alive long enough. Mid 1. Yeah, that ain't happening.
That's a really short battle trance. He barely even started meditating before he died.
Spiritual enlightenment.
Oh, I like this build from Ori, by the way. He's going Butterfly on Tiny. It's very nice, this game. Against the Klings and Troll, they're so reliant on getting these physical hits in. He knows that his status resistance is going to keep him safe from the Batrider and Elder Titan.
I'm wondering if this actually forces Troll as well as Ace to go, like, you got the Scythe of Vice on the way for Ace, but you need MKBs.
He's going to be such a hard kill. That is so difficult.
Well, Tiny's moving over. He's not underneath any sentry wards. Team Secret have that back closer towards the lane. And the Spirits do their scouting for them, and Ace has to just stay in front of the balls. At night time's everywhere, Fada.
Oh, he's
goes
looking
up and
for
towards
it.
the sky. Ace has to pop the BKB. They're looking for a lasso, some kind of control. And they'll get it over onto Paparazzi, stopping him from at least attacking, but Lanham stays tethered to him. They have not killed him off. Now Puppy lets it go with the ET splitter. It does not create enough control. Fada, finish the job! He's done so. Now the jump in. It was hardly a contest!
He dueled a log. He just...
I mean, dueled a log.
The duel started and he died to a tree that was in the air. Like, that was... Could you imagine that?
Can we have that in 100 times slow motion?
I challenge you to a
please.
duel, and there's just this tree that falls on top of you. You lose. That's basically what happened. Take 3 steps back. Oh, well. That's an easy duel.
Yeah.
But
Ari's coming in.
They
That's
got the
a
gyro at
Radiant
least.
Sentry. Ace is able to get Death Pact. I think Ari saw the Centaur just keel over. That's not Sunstroke, it's nighttime. They're both Obs and Sentry down to watch Ace's movements.
that fight, though, look how long it took them to kill the gyro. Like, they dropped pretty much everything on it.
here
It
we
took
go.
so long. Yeah, we're going to see it here. So he is tethered up, and they will overcharge him, and he's going to use the BKB. First of all, they force out Ace. Okay,
Oh,
that
never
was
mind. We
great
come back
replay.
live to a duel in mid, and Troll Warlord's down. Ace tried to help out, but you've got Fenrir behind with False Promise.
Yep. It's going to be full HP.
Do we try the replay again?
Just kidding. He actually didn't really get healed at all, surprisingly. He's going to farm full HP on the dragons anyway.
Roshan's up. In they go. Ari's like, hey guys, that's an Aegis.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Aegis on Gyro right now is almost impossible for Secret to deal with. They can kill the IO once, but IO will have buyback relocate, so they can't kill the Gyro twice. Oh, it's even a DD. There you go. Thank you, Gabe Newell.
Balance.
One for my boy Paparazzi.
Yeah, this is a very quick Roshan. There
That
is
is super
no
fast.
way. Like, you even think Batrider could come in and contest it, but because the build that Fada's gone for, he's gone for Pipe, he's trying to keep his team up, and then going to go into the BKB build.
Yeah.
Like, and until he has these things, he cannot stand in the engagements, and maybe it's just because he knows the Blink Dagger lasso just does not work against all the counters that VG Gaming have to offer.
In order to get the dagger, he would have to get it early. Now it just feels too
Duel
late.
in mid.
Disarm.
Puppy. Well, he's surviving longer than he did last time. Whose laugh was that?
I feel like every duel 11 wins in this game is so silly. Now he won a duel while he was sleeping. Can you just have a normal duel?
It doesn't seem like a fair contest. Like, Legion Commander with no honor. Isn't she meant to be like the end of a huge army that died? And she
You don't read the lore.
I don't read the lore.
Ask Slacks, he knows everything.
From the battlefield, she survived.
I'm pretty sure nobody talks like that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I remember just her being disgraced or something. I remember that. She is a disgrace. Picking on a poor Crystal Maiden.
You know, they say just pick the battles you can win.
Oh, that's a nice Observer Ward to
Ah,
D-Ward.
good ward.
What is this Dire Obs doing?
But it's
It's interesting.
a good word, but it will get dewarded, obviously, because of the sentry. They're just trying to get as much information as they can before they go for that deward.
Well, they saw Fenrir come down the hill. I don't know if Fenrir... They're actually not close enough. It's inside the fog of war. So, VG do not see it unless they're going to walk up to the edge, which they're probably not going to do.
This
But
is a big
bottom
move.
lane,
This
here
is a
comes
big
Sparta.
move.
They need this kill. Yapsil's got to put the spirit down. Lanham can't relocate him back out again, can he? No, they can't. Lasso's there. They focus him down. Now the attention is to turn towards Paparazzi. More support is coming in from VG Gaming. Tiny, ready with the blink. Remember, he's got the cheese. And Aegis Moors and Gyrocopter. This is not a kill that Team Secret can take. And Puppy, oh, not again. Maybe with the BKBs up, they're fighting a little bit further up. Mid one up against the Tiny. The splitter's coming through as they just focus down on 11. He still wins the duel, but he'll lose his life to Ace. Paparazzi was frostbitten up, but remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. Even if they get the kill, it's not worth much. Fada's controlled up by Ori, tossed up and down. You'd think Fada is a great hero to go up and towards the air, but it ain't happening here. He's not even going into Firefly. It's like he accepts his fate and just dies. Doesn't want to cut down the trees, which were his cover. 3 euros down for Team Secret. About a minute window opened up for VG Gaming.
Yeah, they didn't even need to buy back their IO there. Really great control from Lanham. I think a lot of players in that situation buy back the IO and come in, but they felt like they could win the fight anyway, so they wouldn't need him. And as a result, now if there's a fight in the Dire base, he can relocate in for this one and play with his gyrocopter. So this looks to more than likely be a lane of barracks.
You have to let it go, right? Like, you don't fight this or else Ori kills
Do they have
you.
Glyph? They have Glyph, and Yapsor's spawning. It's a great hero for delaying, but not that great against Tiny.
Ori.
Okay.
No! He goes after Poppy! He survives on 51 HP! He is the sacrificial lamb. Did he just die to crack? Okay, yeah. Goodbye.
He died to Fenrir.
Yeah, it was Fenrir? Okay. I was wondering what the hell just flew up and hit him.
Oh, that cost them a cheese to kill the maiden. That's actually not that great, but they're in a very comfortable position anyway. So this tower's gone, or rather the Rex. And they're going to rotate in toward mid more than likely to try to use this Aegis. Good stomp from Yapsor, but the heal's there.
It's money for mid one at least. But yeah, bottom racks. You expected it. Puppy dies. Sure. The defense will remain strong for now. Actually, they're coming outside their base. Klink's looking for an opening. Oh no, really? He just started his attack to get the Death Pact. It will give a little bit more life, but not enough. Ace is down. Buyback is available, but he's been saving up this money in order to buy the Scythe of Vice. So he loses maximum amount.
I feel like we've seen this story before in the last Klink's game we had.
Yeah.
Save up money for the Hex. Finally, when they get it, the game looks really rough.
At least he has the money for the buyback. He didn't buy the ultimate orb and say, I just need some stats or something. They finally get rid of that Observer Ward. Took a while.
They knew it was there for a long time, but they didn't want to give up the position and show that they knew it was there. So,
Well, they come up. They just want the Klinks to buy back. That's the objective right now. They can just put Paparazzi on the front lines too. Lanham's giving him that Scepter bonus. Not 25 just yet, so he's not attacking the same targets, but he'll do that pretty soon. Thanks to his 150 gold per minute, you know he'll have a Maelstrom. Oh, jump in. Ori. Goodbye, Poppy. And now they go again. BKB, duel on down as Batrider is the one who's just locked and controlled. Another winner, 168 plus on the dual damage. Mid one wants a good target, but he can't hit into Paparazzi. The sustain is just unbelievable. Paparazzi just lives through the entire thing. Mid one will go down. This really is the game. VG Gaming own Team Secret's base. They can toss Yapsor and Puppy away so they can isolate Ace. Puppy will let it go, but Ori will just punch her into oblivion. That's the game. That's the yeah, done. Dunskies.
yeah.
Yeah.
The lanes went well for Vici Gaming. They did very well in all three lanes. Troll lost mid to the Tiny, and the Legion Commander and Oracle did totally fine top. And Io Gyro won handily against the Batrider lane. So they did very well in all three lanes. They transitioned into a mid game where they have counter picks. They have great solutions for Lasso. They have good solutions for Elro Titan. And there's a Troll in the enemy team. He has no solutions for himself.
Yep. Are we actually seeing almost...
Okay, I'm a hater. Okay, I'm a hater. There's a couple of heroes.
Hate away.
There's a couple of heroes when I play my games that I really dislike having in my team in this patch, and it's the heroes that seem to need a very long time to build up, and then finally they can join later. And sometimes they win the games, but a lot of the time it feels like you need to lift their weight for so long.
But wasn't that like the old Troll as well? Like, it's like, you can give me 40 minutes, and I'll come out of the jungle, and then we're good to fight. That was obviously a very different version, but
yes,
it's giving me the same kind of feeling right now.
The game was just a bit slower then. Now you need to play aggressively so you can control the map, so you can get the bounty runes and get the towers, and Troll just doesn't contribute very much. I don't think we're going to see Secret Picket again, just because I bet mid one feels in this game that he was hopeless, and he probably didn't feel like he played bad. It's just the rest of the team needs to get so much work done. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the game we just saw with LGD, when they had Klinks and Spectre cores.
Yes.
Klinks needs to make space for Troll in this game. And if Batrider doesn't have a good game, they have like very few pieces to move around and very little to work with.
Mid one actually did the least amount of damage out of everyone on Team Secret.
Yes.
And that means that Puppy did more damage than he did.
Yep.
Obviously, Freezing Field on the top lane did something.
Of course.
It's
hard, right? And he even went... I like that mid one didn't go a slow build. He didn't go like Battle Fury. He didn't try to do that. He went a very cost-efficient early item like Vlad's, and then he went straight BKB. But it still felt too slow. It took too long. And there's other heroes in this category. I think I've not seen Anti-Mage picked yet this tournament. I feel like
Anti-Mage is in the list of non-picked heroes.
Not picked at all. So yeah, he's similar to Troll in that same regard. There's one or two more that just don't come to mind right now. But those two, maybe those are the two most that I just dislike in this patch. I just think it's too slow right now. But we'll see. In the right situation, any hero can be good.
Hate is gonna hate, but we'll find something for you to love. Next draft. Well, it's been a long day, but now the day comes to a close.
In a bit.
Secret versus Vici. In a bit. In a bit.
We got one game left.
Yeah.
And this is a really important game for a couple of reasons. Because these two teams are possibly facing elimination.
Yes?
It's still
Shouldn't
a possibility.
smile about that.
Secret are currently 3-6, and I believe Vici Gaming are now 4-5. So, after Vici Gaming's horrible day yesterday with 0-4, they have managed to crawl back very nicely with a current 4-1 today. It's like they've woken up and figured out what problems they had and found the solutions, and it's paying off so far.
This is actually
Secret,
a nightmare position for Team Secret. Like you go,
Yeah.
you go 3-7, like you require newbie to lose another 2 games before you even get on the same level as somebody else. Like Team Secret going out before they even reach the main event.
will be a
Like
super.
there was
big
already a whole
disappointment.
bunch of like, oh, should Team Secret have put the Aegis the Immortal on their jerseys that they brought here? Have they just jinxed themselves? But this is I don't think anyone would have said, "Oh, wow, that's definitely going to happen."
It's a rough one, right? Because they are, I think they're 4th in DPC in the season, only overtaken by Liquid, VP, and LGD.
Yep.
So
And that's
going
because
in, they
had a fantastic start.
yeah, but they did not do too hot toward the end, but they still had results, and a lot of people were expecting Secret to at least reach the upper bracket. But right now, they need to at least reach the main event.
Yeah.
And, we're calling it early because it's 3-6. There's still plenty of games to play. Everybody in the groups will play 14 games. Or is it 16? 16 games? Because it's 9-team groups. So
Yeah.
16. 16 games. And Secret has currently played 9 of their games because they're
Yeah.
3-6.
Yeah.
So they have about half of their games left. But judging from how the games are going and how the other teams are playing right now, it looks like they need to reinvent themselves and find the solution.
Yeah.
Because if it keeps going like this, they could be the very last team in their group. There's other teams that are more or less on their level, though.
But you
Newbie.
don't have that pressure looming over you during TI. Like
No.
like when you sit there, it's like the issue isn't, oh, do we get upper bracket or do we get lower bracket? The pressure's mounting during group stage of like, do we even stay in the tournament? Like, do we even
Yeah.
get to walk out onto that stage in front of a crowd, which is what every player wants to do. You want to get into that area, at least as a bare minimum. But they need more, and we're gonna go Tiny Ogre
Yep.
for Team Secret. It's a little bit more classic for them. The only thing we're missing right now is Rubik, Ember Spirit, and well, +1.
Yep. I'm thinking about what Vici does in this situation. They have the silencer, so they have a good way of taking team fights and counteracting openings. But Tiny is pretty solid against silencer. Kills him off really easily. Has status resistance. And when you see these two big boys, well, Tiny's little for now. He will be big later, I promise. You need to have a way of killing these tanky heroes, or just taking advantage of their low movement speed or something. Vici Gaming, what are you thinking? Is this some sort of a Spectre game? Like, do you just go a greedy route and believe you can do fine in lanes anyway? Do you try to counterpick the Tiny now while you can, before counters get banned out, perhaps? It's a pretty tough spot. I don't think this is what they expected to happen. They're digging a lot into their extra time to find the solution that they're looking for.
Yeah, to find that combination that works nicely. Team
Yeah.
Secret are going to be very happy about this. The fact that you still have the normal bans out from VG Gaming, this changes it up. You ban out the IO from Team Secret, the small modification. Means that you don't just get the easy IO gyrocopter. Man, this thing's really, really powerful. How the hell do we now lane encounter this? Which Team Secret were very willing to give them. Like, they didn't ban the IO last time, but is this going to be then a rinse repeat for VG Gaming? So they get the Ursa Warrior.
As a
They
counter to Tiny.
they get their combat leader and their frontliner.
Yeah, he's good against Tiny, because obviously, over time, in lane, first of all, Ursa can contest Tiny. The Fury swipes are super annoying to deal with. And I do believe their duration is not lowered by status resistance. Maybe they are. But that's not until Tiny gets level 6 anyway. So for the laning stage, it doesn't matter very much. In the mid-late game, Ursa obviously gets Enrage, and that prevents him from getting blown up by Tiny as long as he sees him coming. And he can take that man fight. And even if he gets jumped, if he goes Aghanim Scepter route, he has a solution to getting Aval tossed. So he can just use that while midair, come down straight away, and fight back. I like this pick a lot from Vici Gaming. I think it's a solid solution for the situation right now.
Well, they banned out the Winter Wyvern, so there's no way to turn the Ursa around or just have that perfect control outside of BKB or whatever.
Yeah.
So, do you like? I kind of joked around about the Ember before, but Team Secret have played it. Is it a nice way to play the Ursa, where you just like slide a fist here and chain him all the time?
It's a horrible lane matchup.
It's a horrible lane matchup, but is that the kind of actually no? Then you got two horrible lane matchups and you can't get out of it.
Yeah. that's
Okay,
bad.
yeah, never mind. Pull it back.
It's tough because I think Tiny can do okay against Ursa in mid, but I think the side lane matchup a little bit. I mean, it's still hard in mid, but it's probably more playable than the side lanes. But Ember against Ursa that is really rough, man. Especially in mid, you can't really play that lane. Oh, Visage ban from Vici Gaming. Interesting.
Maybe they're thinking, well, it's a hero that Fardas played a hell of a lot before.
Yeah,
It's
Ace
also
plays
a-
it too.
Yep.
10 seconds.
Might be
remaining.
expecting that what Secret are going to do is, okay, we see your silencer, so we're going to get a hero or get multiple heroes that can run at you and survive global, like Tiny and Visage, and try to control you. Visage is also a pretty good hero against Ursa, in my opinion, because your first few hits deal very little damage until you pierce the cloak. Visage has the bird stuns, Visage has Grave Chill, which is also super annoying for Ursa, except if he has Enrage ready. And Visage actually does pretty well in lane against Ursa for that reason. In the beginning, until Ursa's level 6, you're just chilling.
Yeah. But they'll remove him out. Team Secret have a ban as well, but they're burning a large portion of their reserve time to do this. And keep in mind, they've still got another 3 picks to go through.
Yeah.
And a ban, so this is not something the Poppy would do lightly.
Team
And they take out the Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight. Okay. I have a very hard time like predicting what the teams are thinking right now because I feel like there's so many options. There's not very much to go by right now. They can go many directions. Secret can look for multiple Bloodlust heroes. There's a second one, so the Mirana, which I believe has a really nice win rate at this event, as a matter of fact, so far. I think Mirana is one of the absolute highest.
It's 64.29% for
with 28
games.
games. That is really good.
Now, we're actually now down to 18 heroes that haven't been picked.
Yeah.
Small list. I told you there'll be a
10
test on it
seconds
later.
remaining. 5
Hmm.
seconds remaining.
So Vici Gaming, I think they feel pretty good about having the silencer against the Mirana, but I think they would like to counterpick it in lane to an extent if they can. Mirana has very few bad matchups though. I think one of the worst ones for Mirana in this mid lane especially would be Templar Assassin, but you don't want to pick that third. So I think you want to try to wait and see if you can get a bit more info. The really nice thing about TA though as a pick in this game is that it's also good against Tiny in lane. So it's definitely a possibility they have later, but they will, as expected, grab a support first. It will be the Shadow Shaman, so probably putting the silencer onto a position 4. Or they're playing a Shaman 4, which is really interesting because both of these heroes with farm can actually be very good, but historically over
together.
the last few years, it's mostly been 5s, both of them.
Yep. But at least this gives you the hex. You don't have to wait forever on a Clinks to try and buy. So
I guess.
one positive way around it. Also note the
Some-
fact that the Clinks is not being banned out yet. Not being picked up yet.
Yep. It gives them a way of taking towers, which is nice. That's one of Ursa's weaknesses. He doesn't do structural damage very well, but he's great at roshing. So they've kind of covered their bases with objectives.
I like how the mouse cursor is stroking the Mirana mount. It's like, good boy. Again.
Nice, Griff.
Yeah, thanks, Griff. Thanks, Griff. Nice cursor position. So, but this is the position that Poppy didn't want to be in. Down to 15 seconds of extra time. He's going to go with the Dark Willow.
Oh, interesting.
So we get Yapsor's hero. Fantastic at...
It's Pimp Muckle on camera,
It's
Toby.
Pimp. Ah! This is what happens when
Good
you
job,
bring
Griff.
it. Thanks, Griff.
So, Dark Willow for Yapsor. Has he played it this tournament? I don't. This is not a hero-player pairing that I think about very much. I don't think, oh, Yapsor, yeah, his Dark Willow, you know? I know he plays it, but it's not a very iconic Yapsor hero. So they're definitely going for something else this game. The Dark Willow is a nice pick against Ursa, but Silencer can be a pretty iffy matchup. If you get caught and globaled, you're dead. You hate playing against Last Word because you can't combo. So if Last Word gets played, if you just place Last Word on Willow, you kind of take her out of the fight for like 7 seconds because she has to instantly pop the silence and then she can't chain her abilities, or she needs to wait it out, let it explode, and then wait the silence out. It's really, really annoying.
So
this hero.
he hasn't played it in this tournament. He
Mhm.
played 2 pub games of it 16 and 17 days ago. He won one, lost one.
Okay.
Ended up going Yule's Aeon Disc Scythe build.
Okay, let's...
So,
I think these
yeah.
details are...
They're not important. Anyway.
There's a good chance he had some different reasons than he was in this game. There we go. There's
Yeah.
the Spectre that we have seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Or that we talked about earlier, rather, in the first phase as a potential option for Vici Gaming. They will grab it here. Probably Secret will aim to put the Tiny in lane against Spectre, and Vici Gaming will, if possible, want to try to dodge that and get the other lane. Now, what's interesting about this is that probably Vici Gaming will want to put their Ursa in a side lane now as well, because if this Tiny, or if this Ursa gets a mid lane against Mirana, I think that's actually pretty annoying. Whereas they could pick a last pick hero that is good against both Tiny and Mirana mids, such as the Templar Assassin. And then if that hero does get counterpicked by Team Secret, then you look towards the other lanes. Okay, so if they try to counter our TA, how does that impact their side lanes? Because then suddenly we can get both an Ursa, we can get an Ursa against a Tiny in a side lane, and we can force their Mirana onto a side lane, so she doesn't get all the levels early on, depending on whether that's the plan they have or not. So
Well, they banned the Zeus Team Secret.
yeah, not sure.
And now-
It's a good hero against Willow, a good hero against Tiny to an extent. It goes both ways.
And both teams have practically no time left. So they
Meepo
banned the
ban.
Meepo. So no shenanigans through the Meepo pickup.
Has that hero been played yet?
Should have had my own test. No, he has been
Rip
banned.
my predictions.
He's been banned, banned multiple times, but he has not been picked.
10
So-
seconds remaining.
So Meepo has actually been banned 6
5
times
seconds remaining.
in this tournament,
Yeah, probably a lot of them against Secret, I would imagine.
and the teams that banned him had a 33% win rate. Anyway,
Interesting.
yeah, side numbers of interesting facts.
Team
Vici Gaming Huskar. Oh, funny because Team Secret banned the Zeus, but they do this while Team Secret at the final pickup, but not a lot of time to work out exactly how they play against him.
There are, let's see, what heroes are left that lane well against Huskar?
Well, you don't want to put the Tiny in mid anymore, so he has
Oh,
to go
absolutely
to,
not.
He has to go to the side lane.
Mirana's fine, I think.
Mirana's fine. You don't think that's a little bit too much damage? Puppy's happy just to pick quickly as Viper.
now select
That is a really good pick with how little time he had left. This is an awesome Viper game because, first of all, it's a hero that does well against Huskar in lane. They get the Nether Toxin against Spectre, which is like a poor man's Silver Edge. It's a ground Silver Edge. if
We
you will.
knock off another ignored hero. This
Yep.
is the first Viper game of
Wow.
TI8.
And the ultimate Viper Strike is so good against Ursa too. Like, this pick is extremely good. I really like Secret's draft just because of this last pick. I think it solved a lot of problems. The Nether Toxin is great against Huskar too. You remove the Berserker's Blood. Man, what a last pick. I'm feeling Secret just because of this hero. But that said, though, I think Vici Gaming not only drafted better in Game 1, I think they also played better. So if Vici can overcome the trouble in this game, I still think they can win this game, but just the draft, this Viper pick, has won me over super hard.
5
Well,
seconds
it's a lot of it's going to come down to the laning phase too, right? Like how does VG then take the timing of this? If Ori doesn't feel as confident up against the Viper, you've then got Paparazzi. Like, how do you create the space if Ori's not going to have the momentum for Paparazzi to then be the unstoppable hero?
That's a very good question, Toby. I don't know. That's why I like the Viper pick.
Thanks, and
So the problem they have here is that Vici has no hero they want to put mid. Ursa gets destroyed by Viper. I mean, maybe he's fine for a level or two, but then he gets crushed later. Spectre, unplayable lane. Huskar, unfavorable lane, but playable, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
So you got to put the Huskar mid regardless, and accept that this is going to be tough. And I think a lot of the pressure in this game is actually on the Ursa to do well in lane, get a dagger, and make fights. If they do manage to do that, the one thing Secret will be struggling with in this game is if they don't end the game, no matter how good this Viper pick is, if they can't transition it into ending the game, eventually Spectre wins Dota.
yeah,
At least in this game.
Eventually.
Spectre will win late game.
yeah. But getting there is going to be the real test, and looking forward to it. Team Secret, they need a win. They need something to keep them out of this bottom part and to drag VG Gaming back down with them, because then they'll both end with 4-6 at the end of this round if it is a 1-1 result, keeping it very tight at the bottom of the group.
for battle.
But lane's come out. Not a surprise. Vada going towards the off lane. He's going to be teamed up with Yapsol. Ace will be the bottom lane. Tiny, and then mid 1 and Puppy teaming up together in the mid. They'll be going up against VG Gaming, who have Lanham, and 11 down the bottom lane. So it's going to be Ursa Warrior and Shaman teaming up together. Ori will be going in towards the mid. Early Bracer for him to try and just tank through the lane. And then up on the top, Paparazzi will be taking the spec, and Fenrir along with him as the silencer.
Yep. I really feel like the lane to watch out for right now is mid, because I'm curious how it goes. It's just, intuitively for me, this is a bad lane for Huskar, and he will struggle. But I don't know when it happens and how bad it is. So I'm definitely looking out for that one. And then, of course, whatever lane Ursa's in, if he does get the matchup against Mirana, he will be or against the Tiny, rather, he will be very happy. So I think Secret will try to avoid this exact matchup. And Ace is currently swapping over.
Loving how aggressive both Lanham as well as 11 are being. It's like, we're happy to invade all the way into your jungle.
And now it becomes a mind game.
Wait,
do you think they swapped or not?
How do they actually play it? Because, yeah, they're kind of in limbo. Ace
Arrow.
is finally coming up towards the top. The arrow will dodge it, and Lanham can just grab the rune. And actually, yep, he does exactly
Got
that.
it.
So that's 3 bounties. The only other one to be grabbed by Team Secret was Yapsaw up at the top lane. Small victories.
And they're walking Ursa across. So at this point, Tiny is committed to being in the top lane. He's already walked all the way up here and is blocking the wave.
Yep.
And Ursa will be connecting up. So
Here's the first TP out.
Vici
so
Gaming get the lanes they want. If
Yeah.
Secret swap around with TPs, they will follow them.
Yep.
This
Be
is
very-
already a good start for them. It's very important for Vici that this happens.
So then you look towards probably mid 1 a little bit harder against Ori to have a good advantage early on. And Ori didn't even go for the Burning Spears. He just went Berserker's Blood, level 1. So
Lanham's kind of just
actually,
dying.
did he just walk into it? Puppy's going to club him. And Lanham, he's got the distance. 14 HP. Ignite still on cooldown for the moment. Puppy won't commit too hard. They're going to fortify up just to balance out the lane. Same for the Radiant side. That's more of the mid battle going on. And Lanham stays in the trees. Goes for one more shock. Poppy does manage to actually hit him with the Ignite. I don't think they can catch up the rest of the way, however.
He should suicide to this neutral camp, I think, on the...
He's TPing home.
What?
Because Fenrir is now on the on the bottom lane.
I should still just suicide to the camp and then TP
then
out.
TP top.
This... I think that's a
Oh.
fairly big mistake from Lanham, actually. He kind of just
Fenrir?
died by doing this.
Actually, I think Fenrir is dead. This should be the first blood. The Ignite, no! The Spectral Dagger. Puppy can't reach him for the last clubbing.
What you just saw happen, everything that happened bottom, is because Shadow Shaman started with boots, by the way. I think this build is super greedy, and I'm not a fan of it. Even Shaman, who really needs the move speed and benefits a lot from it. Nice leap from Fata, that's first blood.
Yeah.
Even Shaman who does that, you're playing with 3 tangos, man. You know? You get ignited, you get hit a couple times by the Ogre. Mirana hits you a couple times too. You're out of the lane. And it costs. Lanham is very low level right now, and has to walk all the way top.
What is he even... No, he's here for the 2-minute rune to
Yeah,
check
he's waiting
it.
for the rune bottom.
And it's going to be a regeneration, so nice one for either Ori or mid one to grab. But Viper is just tanking through the Burning Spears of Ori while up on top lane. Ace, teaming together with Yapsaw, you walk into the tree line and you're kind of in Dark Willow's maze. Can't get back out of it. Lanham going after mid one, but does minimal damage. In fact, mid one with one more attack. Lanham, tick, tick, done. This is just VG falling apart.
It's not looking good. At least the mid lane for Ori looks pretty good, actually. For now.
For now.
Doing fine. He's 10 and 7. Viper is 5 and 2. So Huskar has managed to build himself a little advantage. Oh, mid one overstepped his boundaries. I think he might die here.
Yeah, that Burning Spear, he doesn't have the life. He's got his salve coming
he's
out.
so low.
1 point in corrosive skin. The
so
10%
low.
resistance, 9. He just walks in.
It's like, okay, man.
I accept my fate. Can't gain anything else. Maybe he could have got 1 point of experience before death.
Yeah, the problem is the curry is in use and it's walking. So he feels like dying is better in order to get experience. But man, has he lost this lane. I did
11's on the
not
hunt
think
again.
it would be this bad.
Going after Ace. Lanham's coming in from the side. He's got Hex as well as the Ether Shock. Ace tosses him away, but the Avalanche, those 4 instances of damage just hit so hard into 11, so they turn their attention towards Lanham. The movement speed is with them. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Fighter finds another kill onto Paparazzi.
Yeah, nice setup from Puppy there. They got the Fire Blast into Arrow combination and then Starstorm, and Puppy has gone for a 1-2 build. This is the maximal damage output you can have as Ogre on level 3, skilling like this.
Wasn't this meant to be the lane setup that VG Gaming wanted?
Yeah, it was. But I
Oops.
think Lanham's itemization has hurt them quite a lot. I'm really not a big fan of starting with boots on any support in this patch.
He's come in and just been a little bit of a nuisance, but beyond this, like you look at the CS on the board and Team Secret, 17-14, 17-12, 17-12. Actually, that's the Husker. Like 7-4. Okay, it's the Viper who has a couple of problems. Damn. Ace. Problematic. Is there an Ether Shock still on cooldown for now? And Ace is back behind the tower.
Something is really telling me that mid lane should not be going like this. Like,
The Husker has 18-13 to the 8-4.
I really don't think it should be like this. And I know that when Viper hits 6, this gets troublesome for Huskar, because he can get Viper struck, and then he getting caught in the Nether Toxin, and then his passive doesn't work, so he just doesn't really do much damage. But this early laning from Ori, he must have outplayed him severely to get that big of a CS lead and so many denies.
Going for another kill onto Fenrir on the bottom lane. Silencer, no +2s for him. However, he does get the curse on the Fada, who'll leap and TP away. That's the only way to really 100% survive the damage. While up on top lane, Lanham runs into the tree line. Ace just goes straight past him.
Juked.
So does Yapsol. Lanham, just with the moves, he'll stick charge and then TP out. Anyone got something? No one's got nothing.
That was a sexy juke. That was really, really good.
What is 11? Oh, 11's coming for
Trying to
the
get the bounty.
bounties. The clap to try and slow down Yapsol, so then you can still
enough.
go for the run. And
Denies it.
denies.
Yeah, well, that's still half a bounty rune in a way, because Secret didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
So even if he doesn't get it himself, that was still a good play from 11.
Fenrir's rotating in towards mid. He's going to try and go for this kill on mid one. That's why Ori, he doesn't actually have the life break. He went for a 2-3-1 build. So he can't just jump towards mid one.
Yeah, that's pretty uncharacteristic, I think, for Huskar to not skill ult.
Well, they're going again up on top. 11 in way too deep. He has no support near him because Lanham is down in towards the mid lane. They're trying to go after mid one, but Fenrir revealed his position and the Observer Ward because he cursed from range inside the trees exactly on mid one.
I don't quite know what 11 is doing in this game.
He's tipping Ace for a good play.
Oh, well played.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting owned, so maybe he's being genuine. He's like,
No,
all right.
I died to skill. I died for skill.
Because if these two side lanes were not going this bad, I thought this mid lane would be really, really hard. And, oh well, would at least not be Ori favored, but it is still. He's doing great, so that's good. But if their side lanes were going
on top
okay...
lane after 11, the Cursed Crown is going to connect as well. And Ace with the Avalanche, he doesn't have toss, not enough mana for it, so he couldn't finish the job. 11 tries to turn around quickly, does some heavy damage in towards Ace. Lanham just can't run through because there's Bramble everywhere. And on bottom lane, it's Fada to find Fenrir.
There's no Ursa in this game. Like, he is actually just really, really shut down. It's so strange, because this mid lane should not be going like this, and these side lanes should not be going like this. Like, everything is, like, upside down.
He needs Bramble, trigger,
Just barely got mana.
space creation.
He's fine.
And Lanham, no, he's not fine. Lanham.
Oh, shock. Shocking.
Thanks, Sean.
Oh, that's Earthshaker.
Oh, I thought you were Connery. You sounded like Connery.
Thank you. I have heard that many women find that character attractive. Oh, that person, rather. So
He is a character.
that is a compliment. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Observer Ward. Fenrir is at least able to claim something extra for himself and level 3. Hard day at the office. And Ace will arrive, but Observer and Sentry for VG Gaming see him arrive hiding in the tree line. They will lose their own Observer. Fenrir just planted one on top.
Now we have this really
Rain
awkward
pops.
laning situation where Vici have 4 heroes top and 1 guy mid, and there's just an empty lane bottom because nobody wants to go there. Spectre's losing the lane. Ursa got crushed by the Tiny and Willow lane. I think, once again, I know I've talked about this a decent amount already, but the itemization early on with the boots on Shaman has... The top lane didn't go well in the beginning, but when they swapped around and rotated, Lanham was at too low level simply
The
to help the
Bramble's
Ursa.
out. Speaking of Lanham, he's got the Cursed Crown on him. Tiny can't get the combination off. Now he does. With the Avalanche, he actually gets 2 heroes caught. Moonlight Shadow is up, and hello, Mirana. All that extra farm going to work. 11 doesn't have level 6 yet, so there's no win rate to try and protect himself from all the damage the Team Secret have to offer. Ace goes dominating, 4 kills for him. And Fada has an arrow off cooldown in 2 seconds time. They just come back in. Leap into Starfall with the toss-up. Paparazzi, Curse Crown. They're still... Okay, he has the arrow back up thanks to the one charges. But Ace on the run. Lanham will get the shackles. Fada has to use the arrow to break him free. Lanham already able to dodge. And Ace shocks on him. So is the last word. He just has to outrun now. Curse comes off cooldown. The Avalanche buys him the space. Curse will still connect. But they are away to safety, Team Secret.
And slowly but steadily, the Viper is starting to do better in mid, I would say. It's still not looking good for mid 1, but he's coming back. And he honestly, he can be a liability in this game with how it went. He's
He's
doable.
1.3k net worth behind Ori.
Yeah. You got to look toward Ori now if you're Vici Gaming to carry the game for a while. He needs to get this armlet. He needs to get into fights with all this magic damage that the Radiant team has and the very low physical. He should be able to stay alive very nicely with Berserker's Blood. Unfortunately, he has it level 1 right now, so he probably needs some more levels in that. And then join fights. Make space. Spectre and Ursa need a lot of time right now.
Fada gonna go for YOLO arrow? No. They put Observer Wards down behind. Fada gets clipped by the curse, so goodbye clarity. But he was already full. And they TP around, so Mirana will finally head back down towards bottom lane, thanks to that Dire Observer Ward, which has only got another 20 seconds left on it. And we'll see Fada's rotation for the 10-minute bounty runes. And 11 just backs off. He knows he doesn't need to try and fight this. They're going to lose both runes on top because Yapsaw and Ace are there. And they look to cut through. Actually, they already have. Bramble, toss him in. Yapsaw goes for the kill. Using that ulti, Spirit just cuts through Paparazzi.
Nice play.
Bedlam going... Like, that's how you... Like, how many times do you actually see Bedlam use as an aggressive ability so early on? Kind of just makes it possible for Yapsaw.
Yeah. Generally hard for Willow to get into position to use this ability without items, but this case, very easy.
They're going to try and kill Puppy. Lanham has an Invis rune. And 11 just needs to close the distance. Either that or he's trying to bait Puppy forward.
I gotta go now. His Invis is running out.
Oh, Puppy walks out. That'll make it work. And then rump, but no! The arrow! The leap! He actually didn't enrage, so they're going to kill him off so quickly and then move towards Lanham. Fada is just everywhere on this map. Puppy will get the kill thanks to the Ignite. I love that as well, considering we'll be talking about numbers most of this this part of the stream.
Nice.
Nice, 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 nice.
Well,
Avalanche, no toss, just chipping away at Paparazzi, who just has very little life to work with anyway.
Bottom tower.
the story of this game right now is that Vici can't make moves, right? Because Ursa and Spectre are very underfarmed, very under-itemized. And Huskar is the guy who's strong, so I think what you do in this situation is you start playing around your Huskar. You bring the fight to him.
Oh,
Put the last Serpent Wards in that mid tower and start forcing Secret to fight the Huskar.
Oh,
Bring him the Haunt.
They're smoked up. Fenrir as well as Lamb together. Fenrir is level 3 12 minutes into this game.
That is actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that. That is the lowest level at minute 12 I think I've seen this patch.
Oh, they're going to find mid one. But then again, who's really found to? They have to mass Serpent Ward, trap him, hold him with
Nice
the
kill.
shackles, and they'll be able to get the kill. Hey, here's level 4.5. Fenrir goes up in the world, but at the same time, Ursa dies. Underneath this tier 2 tower, Fada as well as Puppy, they cop a lot of damage, but they look their attention towards the mid lane. Puppy's the first one to come in. So is Dark Willow. This Bramble's going to be really difficult to negotiate. Ori, how does he get back out of this one? The Hex is on Tani, so there's no instant combination to kill him off, but the physical damage is still more than enough. Yapsaw with kills. They chase down Lanham. You've got level 6, but he's got no more abilities, no more mana, no more life.
Ori can't fight with this skill build either. I'm very surprised by a lot of things that are happening in this game.
He went
I said it a lot of times.
3-4-1-1.
If you have 1 point Berserker's Blood, your magic resistance is like negligible right now in these fights. It's like you get 20% when it's maxed. That's a cloak and a bit. You're still gonna die. And I know you're playing against Nether Toxin, but you have to play to the chance that you find a fight where Viper is dead or that Viper isn't in.
Yeah.
Else you're just not
food.
Huskar. He's actually just not a Huskar right
Is
now.
Yapsaw, like, Mr. Level 9 Dark Willow trying to solo the level 9 spec? Which is almost possible. The Spectre is actually going for a blade mail.
Dude, Secret's so far ahead.
Yeah.
My god. This is crazy.
They are 7,000 gold in front, 13 minutes in, and it's climbing.
Yeah. We're in
Yeah.
the territory where Secret need to mess up a decent amount to
You have a
get Vici back in the game.
7-0-3 Marana KDA. And now they're going to
Yeah.
find another target. Well, it may be a little bit more. Leap him. Arrow into Starfall. That's all the extra damage they require. And I like how he even waits to get the kill with the Starfall. The Golden Ram Farter he got to be as he takes the kill. 8 in a row now.
It's going to push out the mid wave as well and probably look to... I'm imagining Secret want to rotate top and take this tier 2 tower. There's nothing stopping them right now from just taking more and more and grabbing more advantage on the map. As I said, this kind of lead minute 14 and what heroes they're up against is extremely one-sided. And Vici Gaming, they've got to get Silencer level 6, man. Like, he needs 6, and then they need to find a team fight where Huskar and Ursa are hitting stuff while there's global.
I don't think Huskar can hit anything because of the horrendous start they've had. Maybe they can get Ace on top lane. But no, actually, they can't. Because of the terrible start they've had, Yapsor is so close to completing up the Spirit Vessel. And once this is here, Huskar can just do very little.
He can always jump in and global. That will always be a play for them, or, well, for a while, at least, that will be a play for them.
Puppy. Oh, hang on. Just out of range. Fire Blast. Huskar walked out of it. As
Bounty
the arrows
runes
don't
are
connect on mid.
spawning. It looks like Secret have everything on lock.
Yep. Yapsor's got the bottom, and you've got
Four
Ace
runes.
on top duty. And you've got Farda still looking for that. He found him. Arrow, make sure there's no global silence, and actually it won't even happen anyway. Farda, 9-0-3 on this Marana. Just about, in fact, has completed up the Maelstrom. 15 minutes into the game. Tiny has his Blink Dagger, so they got Initiation, they got mixed damage, and it didn't even matter that mid one had a bad start. He's almost on the same. He's almost at the same net worth as Yapsor.
I mean, to be completely blunt, he's barely needed to play the game.
Yep.
Actually,
Oh,
he's
Lanham.
barely needed to do
Oh,
it.
Lanham. That's not where he wanted to come. The Global Silence comes out, and maybe with the Spectral Haunt they can find something here. The Shackles, Lanham will end up surviving through this corrosive skin. Makes it a little bit more challenging for him to do so, but it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Avalanche, Blink, toss in. They go after 11. Ursa enrages up, hits into Poppy, but he can't finish the job, and the arrow connects onto Paparazzi, but it doesn't stop Ori from jumping into the fight. Farda,
Farda, what are you
Shackles! He's underneath the wards! He wanted to get a Starfall off, he wanted something. Lanham is still alive!
Oh, boy, that was not... Yeah, whoops. That's what I was thinking, too. That was not the play. He leaped next to the Mass Serpent wards and got hexed, and then shackled. Ouch. That hurts. That's a little bit of a big swing. Silencer got the kill, so he got boots and claws of attack. Wait, what? He bought blades? Okay, interesting. I guess he's going to go phase boots on Silencer now.
Wait, no, but he's still got treads in his quick pie.
I don't know about that one. I'm probably changing it to phase soon.
Alright.
But that was what they needed, right, Vici Gaming? They needed a fight where they were fighting around Huskar, they got the global off, they got the haunt off, and they got the serpent wards off. And Secret made a mistake. Like, all of those things combined made this fight possible.
And now money starts to arrive. Items start to
They're
arrive.
getting
We
a
can
bit,
see
so we're
it-
gonna
we
see
can
it here, yeah.
it jump. So Lanham goes in. You're like, oh god, he just balled this up. But then gets the wards. Paparazzi arrives so quickly, and they could just isolate mid one from the fight. Never got Nether Toxin off.
And Secret could cut the fight there if they wanted, but...
And we're coming back live as Paparazzi is currently haunting Ori. Right behind with the Moonlight Shadow. Hits on the fire hits on the fire blast. Now they toss him back over again. Nether Toxin did come down. They tossed him out of it, however. So Huskar can stand for a little bit longer, but Fenrir can't do much more. With no global silence, this just becomes a run. No more leap charges for Farda, so he cannot catch up to the silencer. But it's still a kill to move then into a push onto the tier
It's a
2
good kill.
tower.
It's the biggest hero on Vici Gaming's side, and they, like you said, get the tower too. So, nice move from Secret. Simple stuff, just works. And they grab this tower. And I think the next move for Secret is probably to get the mid-tier 2 whenever they can. Roshan is not really an easy task for their lineup, and that's like an area where they can throw away a big mistake. So, or throw away a big lead, rather. They can make a big mistake. Better off just playing the safe and riding their advantage. Not by going back to farming, but by taking the safer fights that, if they fail, ruin the game less for them. Because they technically can kill Roche. It just takes so damn long that it becomes obvious, and who knows what happens in the pit.
They're just getting good information. That Observer Ward has now seen both the Shaman as well as the Silencer. So long range arrow and catch! 120!
Oh, he caught it.
He did. There was literally no follow, though.
No.
They're still staring down the Huskar, who does have a decent amount of life. That's 1900 HP they have to get through
Well, with Armlet,
with Armlet turned off.
Yeah.
And they're getting more space for Paparazzi. He's got the Blade
Oh.
Mail. He can potentially Spectral Horn out of this as well. So now you've got both Ursa as well as Spectre farming on the side lanes, uncontested. And Team Secret have 4 heroes, make it 5 heroes trying to push this mid lane.
This is taking a bit longer than it should, I think, for Secret. I think they're a bit too hesitant.
They still have fortification too, Vici. Line up
Oh,
through the
caught
side,
him.
the global silence, mass serpent wards. They're looking for another lockdown, and they want to make sure this Viper is nothing, and Viper is absolutely nothing. Bedlam, it's good. Into the Terrorize, forcing VG Gaming to unwillingly run away. Spectre did jump in. The Blade Mail Team Secret almost killed themselves, but 11 need to jump 3 seconds before he can do it, and no, I take it back. Ace gets the jump first. His blink was off cooldown first, and now VG Gaming, they'll lose 4. It looks like a great
my
start.
God,
No,
no.
Ori's war trapped! He's actually war trapped inside of his own team's mass serpent wards. It can't be any worse than this. My lord!
That's what happened. It's like, where is Huskar?
Not like this.
So they ward trapped the Viper, and he used Life Break on the Viper into the wards. So he was stuck in there the whole fight. Did he not have TP ready? He could have TP'd next to his tower and then run down afterwards. He was literally just stuck the whole fight. He couldn't move.
Dire's middle tower.
Because that... So, look at this opening. This doesn't look that bad for the Dire, right?
It's
So they
like-
get in, they get the Hex.
So he life breaks into the mass serpent wards. He does exactly that, and then actually pushes the Viper out almost. And then, yeah, he's trapped. He's not involved in any of this. And his teammates can't help him to
They
get
could
out
back
of this.
now. They could be like, okay, guys, we butchered that. That's not good. And now they run in.
And they lose 11 and land him almost instantly.
They're actually just giving bonus kills while...
Is this the communication? Like, did Huskar just... Ori had to scream out, guys, stop!
Dude, guess what Huskar just did? He just bought phase boots. He's like, land him. I've had enough.
So-
No.
Or, oh,
If you guys aren't going to listen to me when I say back, I'll solve it myself. I'll get phase boots.
oh. That's so painful.
I think he had TP in that fight. That was so strange. It looked like full-on panic. And you imagine that fight for Vici Gaming where Huskar gets to fight after the first jump?
Yeah.
That could have actually worked out really well, but that was such a big loss for them. Wow. They lost 4 heroes, which could have been 1. Remember, they could have
Yeah.
called the fight and been like, okay, Huskar can't join. Let's back off. Take the trade of Spectre for Viper. It's not great, but it's okay. Instead, they lost 4 heroes, they lost a tower, and they lost Roche.
I just like
So
how
this
like,
is big stuff.
It's just such a crazy thing. Vici Gaming, they start the fight the way they wanted. The last couple of times, it's always the Viper to die. They focus him down, and that's when you're actually seeing the Shaman Lanham doing the job, the exact job he's looking to do. But it's just a nightmare now. They're jumping in. Spectral Horn's available, so Spectre can come into this fight whenever he wants. He wants to push the bottom lane, however. With Bedlam up, Ori as well as Lanham forced to the front lines to just get rid of the creep wave. And a nice big curse.
Dire's
Slow him down. They'll fortify quickly.
They're buying all the time they can for Paparazzi right now.
Yep.
And this siege is actually not that easy. They can get ward trapped, global is online again. All the spells are back.
Look how scared Paparazzi is too. The TP's coming in. It's tiny. He needs a jump. And there it is. Toss. Avalanche. He can Spectral Horn quickly and then potentially jump up to top. But he can also just dagger. Leap, leap, leap. And arrow. Go
They
east.
don't see him.
And then TP away. A good escape. And they hold on to their tier 3 tower on top.
He
Vici
bought
by time.
so much time with that play. That's pretty much half the
Well,
Aegis
they're smoking to
when
fight.
they get back up there.
They're actually smoking to fight. Moonlight Shadow's on cooldown for
Ooh.
the moment. They want to come out, and 11 will find a target.
There's no Huskar with them. He has to
It's-
TP on the shrine when this fight breaks out. He needs to be there from the beginning.
Okay. There's 4 heroes right on top of each other on top.
Fata has a 10-second BKB.
They're walking into him.
Oh, they walked away. Imagine they stay there.
They still don't have Huskar. They still don't have him. underneath the tier 2 tower. Now the arrow flies forward. It'll hit a creep only. They get the Cursed Crown over on Paparazzi. Terrorize, try and push them all away in the avalanche toss. Ace in the right lines. Mass Weapon Wards are in the middle of the fight as 11 is able to enrage up. You get the buyback out from the Shaman. They need his disable, but with it, Team Secret, they disengage or they just change targets. Shadow Shaman, you just came back to this fight. A full dieback from Lanham.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Ori just TP'd on his tier 3 tower or something and started running all the way. There's a tier 2 next to them. There's a shrine. The Huskar never joined the fight. He had to run so far to connect to them. Lanham buys back, runs down, runs in, uses Shackle and Viper. None of his teammates are nearby. Like, what is actually going on in their team communication in this game? This looks like they're just completely disconnected from each other.
They look connected in game.
This is not normal Vici Gaming execution that we're seeing right here.
Yeah.
That is...
What happened to the VG Gaming that started today? What was the VG Gaming that actually won game 1 against Team Secret? Was it really just like, hey, our draft was just a little bit stronger and Team Secret couldn't find the answer to it?
I don't know, it's just... I'm honestly very surprised. This looks so... For a team that's on the up today with a 4-1, this looks really, really disconnected and just poorly executed. I was expecting them to maybe have a hard time because of their early laning stage, but they actually were looking to have signs of life. This miscommunication between the Huskar and the team and
They're jumping mid.
everything just... It hurts them real bad.
Paparazzi has friends nearby with the Moonlight Shadow. All Paparazzi can do is just move off to farm the Trinity camp. But the waves are pushing in.
Oh, Parazzi's buying a hood. Interesting. It's a late hood. He has Blade Mill and was working on a Manta, but probably feels like it's going to be too little too late, so we'll get a smaller item.
They still have this Aegis for a while.
Yeah. This push is really hard to hold now, because now Secret have a double damage on Mirana.
Arrow. 5 seconds stun on Lanham. Stay, sit, stay.
They got nothing more than the tower, though. They're
But
respecting...
it allows them to take the shrines. It's going to
Yeah.
remove this out of position the VG game. So there's no way that they could ever try and contest Roshan. There was a double damage rune on Fada. So maybe, they did want a little bit more than this.
They show a lot of respect to what Vici Gaming's lineup can do defensively, but...
Oh, VG's coming out. They're smoked up heavily.
Huskar BKB.
Oh, they see Puppy. They do
That's actually a really big item here.
not see Puppy. They're running across the river and up towards the Ancients. And the Radiant Scam, they feel like something is coming. Remember, Spectral Haunt is up and available. And they'll run down. Okay, they see Fada. He leaps into them. They need the Hex. Fada got the BKB off! Into the sound. Oh, okay, there is Global Silence. They can control him on that front, but it's underneath the shrine. The VG Gaming try and fight this one. The Ward Trap is good. It's over on Puppy, but mid one, he'll break his Aegis the Immortal. Ace is waiting for the jump in. He's just sitting in the river, and now here he comes. Avalanche, he actually got the toss off too. And you can say goodbye to the Spectre, but the chase is on. Huskar wants to fight. They break him out because he's in the Nether Toxin, and Yapzor is the one to get the mega kill streak. Of course, it's Yapzor. Spectre take the regeneration rune. Has to get rid of the Observer Ward first. Viper jumps forward. They were chasing down Fenrir, but now with the Avalanche toss, Lanham is gone. And, well, Paparazzi goes back in again. Tries to use the Blade Mail to get something back, and he did get mid one. It's the consolation prize. It's the box of chocolates. It's the Wheel of Fortune board game.
That ends up... It's all about the area of the fight, right? They get in with the smoke, but... Fata reacts fast enough, gets the BKB off. They're fighting under the shrine, like you said. It's just a really bad spot fighting into an Aegis there, which was about to expire, by the way. They chose this fight. They ran into them while Aegis was up in one of the absolute worst spots on the map to fight in, and they did not get the jump. And still, that fight actually looked somewhat competitive. Like, imagine this in a better position for Vici Gaming. Even with a 15k deficit, this could have worked, but they're making it... I feel like they're making some decisions that makes it very, very difficult for themselves. Fighting in that specific area is tough.
We get to see it
So
again.
see, they walk in, and they pop all BKBs.
Shrine's already triggered. Fada just walks off, and he was the one being initiated on from the very start.
And the guy that Ward Trap is an Ogre, who they do kill, and that's nice, but...
He already did everything he wanted to do. Like, he ignited, multicast, he got his stuns off. And he bought some space for mid one just to sit up on the hill, reposition, and Huskar is by himself. Paparazzi can't even stand in there. So he's standing inside the Nether Toxin. We'll get to come back to the world of the live, and that's when they jump in. Ace gets the initiation. Ori instantly deleted, and Lanham almost catching another arrow, but they leap forward. Fada, look at that attack speed and the repositioning. Fenrir hunted down like a dog.
But now it's 30 seconds on these two.
That's...
Secret still can't... I don't know if they get a lane of racks here still. Like,
They have Catapult with them.
there's Glyph. Tiny's definitely dealing good damage with the Bloodlust as well.
Lanham can put down defensive wards.
I think he has to save them for the fight, actually.
Yeah, he does. But Ether Shock, something. He's so scared to go in range. The Blink Dagger from Ace is just going to wreck him. It's just too easy to go for the combination.
Yep, they get the tower. But
So
this,
8
this Rex
seconds still Husker.
is fightable.
Spectral Haunt. Looking into the back lines as Dark Willow's already on the run, and they are getting a lot of damage. Puppy, he's dying very, very quickly. Ace wants to turn around, goes to the stun. There's your Terrorize. Blade Mail is up on Paparazzi, and oh boy, you actually almost had him kill themselves. The Absol was doing it. That was the Bedlam that was about to murder himself. Ori, oh, this is his time to clean up. He needs the vision, however. They're under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Team Secret TP out. Now, are we having another fight where the only person to really die is Puppy?
Yep. And a couple of VG Gaming heroes and a buyback.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got the range racks.
And
It wasn't the melee, but
so
it was
what's
range.
happening in this fight is that they stress about their racks falling, obviously, as they should. They should be defending this. So they haunt and they jump in with the Ursa, but Shadow Shaman was never in range for that fight, so he didn't get the Serpent Wards off. This was a really long team fight without mass Serpent Wards, and the moment Huskar spawns, can TP in and join the fight's already over, because he had 5 or 10 seconds on his respawn. It's a really awkward moment, because you don't really want to start that fight while Huskar's dead, but if you wait that little bit longer, you could have lost the melee Rex too.
It's almost that moment too when you wish you had something like a Glimmer Cape, or at least like the Shadow Amulet. He has the money for it, but he's going for an Ether Lens on Lanham to just get the range for the Hex.
Yeah,
But
it's a really good item.
Some level of position pressure. It's just not there. Fenrir as well as Lanham are so intimidated by the initiation that if they don't have raindrops, they feel like they're just going to instantly die.
I definitely think Lens is the right item on Shaman this game. He needs the cast range. It's super big. If he gets level 15 and the Lens, you basically get, what's that, 375 cast range? It's a world of difference. Makes it super easy to get a Hex. It makes it super easy to get the Ward Trap off, and that has a huge impact on these fights. And he's
Roshan's
kind of
up.
free to cast the spells during Global, so...
Yap sword checks at just the right time. So they go in for Roshan. Farta completes a full MKB. So he's getting more, and Vici Gaming are grouping up like they want to try and contest something, but they are way too late. Roshan's already dead. They'll walk into middle, and now, well, if we go with Vici Gaming's normal thing, they don't back off from this, they just go in for a fight. But it looks like they're going to back off.
Yep, that Mantis on Paparazzi could be big in this coming fight. He didn't finish the hood earlier that we were looking at. He still he continued his path toward the Manta. If he gets his next item on the Spectre, this is still possible. It's kind of similar to the EG game that we watched earlier against LGD, where we were saying it is possible. It's really hard, but it is possible. All this takes is a really bad fight from Team Secret, where Paparazzi has maybe a defusal here, or even with the items that they have. I still feel like the execution of the fights has just not been very good, and if they do everything correctly, even with this 25k disadvantage, it is still a possible fight to take. But it's definitely getting harder and harder as Secret keep mounting this advantage. And they are looking to probably go and siege mid, or just go for the melee Rex bottom first. We'll see.
Just push in the mid and then bounce Mirana in through bottom. That's maybe even enough to get the racks. A little risky to do so, though.
Vici has really good vision for a team that's getting crushed. Like, they have 3 good defensive wards out.
Those sentry wards, though, they planted during the bottom fight. But yeah, you're right. The obs
Yeah,
position's really nice.
they have really good obs. Secret, do they have a gem to buy? I think they do. They have a huge advantage.
No
and
gem in inventory,
don't
and
have a
they
gem.
definitely haven't bought one this game.
That's a bit surprising. Like, look at Puppy, how rich he is
yeah.
on this Ogre. He has...
He's been going 90 gold per minute. Oh, they
Yeah.
found an opening. Jumping forward towards Ace. The arrow is right on target. Lanham has to move to avoid it. Ace has to use the cheese. And now Global Silence is out with the Mass Serpent Wards. It's in a good position. Aegis and Cheese both gone. Ori wants to fight. The Moonlight Shadow. Did someone bring detection for this? The Hex. It's onto the Mirana. They got another big curse off, but they've lost Husker. There's no way to move forward. They're using Paparazzi's clones through the Manta style to try and survive and toss him. And a double kill for Ace! Hits the money shot! Lanham and Paparazzi gone and dusted.
That was a really good attempt, but again, the advantage is so extreme. Aegis Cheese and 30k gold, and they got them pretty low, and they got it.
Yep.
They did what they could, but this is going to be the hard one to hold.
Cursed Crown at 11. He was actually running towards Fenrir saying, please hug me. I'm cursed.
Middle barracks are under
This mid-Rax is going down quickly. I don't know what this Spectre buyback can really achieve apart from delaying the tier 4 towers. They need to wait another 12 seconds before they can fight. They actually need the Shaman's disable in order to fight.
They're okay with starting with Huskar, I think.
Oh, Huskar's up. He's running in, and Ace starts it instead. 11! Where was he? He just got deleted again. Ori wants another jump. It's a good curse. They're all slowed up, but Ace just turns around. Toss off back off cooldown,
Silver Edge.
and they just Silver Edge him up. Knock off any kind of control, and GG, well played. Team Secret will get a draw in the series after losing Game 1 to VG Gaming, and this keeps both of these teams on the bottom part of the bracket, rubbing shoulders with Newbie.
Still, it's a really important win for Secret, this one. If they were to lose this game, they would have been in a tough spot. It's still early to call because there's many games to be played, but I think with this win, Team Secret keep their hopes alive of maybe bringing it back and getting into the winner bracket. It is still possible with 6 losses. I believe now they're currently 4-6, right?
Yeah, they're actually Newbie actually got a victory as well
Okay.
against Team Serenity. So if they actually 2-0, then you have Team Serenity, Team Secret, and yeah, hang on.
What can they... theoretically, Secret can still
VG.
go 9-6, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they can go 10-6. There's 16 games, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, that's doable. If they stabilize and grab some more wins here on out, or they can maybe even drop 1 or 2 games and still possibly make number 4. But, yep, they do pull it back. So, what's our standings in the group? Is this updated?
Yeah, this
completely?
looks like it's totally updated.
Okay, so Secret is still... No, it's not, because they just got the win. But
Okay,
Secret with 4
yeah.
4-6, Vici Gaming 4-6. That's currently tied for 4th, actually. But
Which
there's
is
teams
hilarious.
below them that have played less games, and
Yep.
minimum one of them will overtake them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was quite the game. It was a strange game, honestly, for me to watch because I think there were so many, I want to say clowny things that happened in the game. That,
Yeah.
like Huskar getting stuck in the Serpent Wards, the way he skill built, the way the lanes went. Like going back to the beginning, Huskar destroyed Viper, which
Yep.
I still stand by that it shouldn't be this one-sided. I
Yep.
think Viper's fine in that matchup and even wins it later. The side lanes from VG Gaming went horribly wrong. The itemization on them to start with boots, I think, was super greedy and cost them.
But then VG started actually getting the best initiations to start the fight off because they deleted Viper. They deleted the ability to destroy the passives, but then they still lost the fight.
Yeah, they were just so far behind. Like, if this game is not this magnitude of advantage with like 25k at the time that it was that, or even the time when Secret were up 8k, it's so early in the game that the item and experience advantage is almost insurmountable. Because Vici Gaming's fights were close. Actually, they were close, a lot of them, while they were horribly far behind. So you just imagine, let's say the lanes go 20% better. Like,
Yeah.
they still lose them, but they go better. Who knows? But they got trashed, man.
Yeah, they
They-
really did.
Ori-
Ace was 17-1-5. Fada was 15-1-21. My God, if you had either of these guys in your fantasy team, you're a very happy person.
Only Ori for Vici Gaming had a lane. The other
Yeah.
4 heroes had a horrible time. Soundseer was level 3, minute 12.
11 actually went 113.
Yeah. 11 was 0-4-0 in lane. Huskar was the only guy with a laning stage, and then when he started fighting, the fights went wrong. So they couldn't even use his strength.
No.
It's just a tough one, man. Like, bad games happen. But Vici just dropped the ball in so many aspects, and then when they actually took their fights well and show what they can do, it was just too hard. Secret, on the other hand, crushed them in lanes, built a big advantage. Probably didn't play the fights clean either, because else I think
Yeah.
this should have been crisper from them if they want to be a top team in this group. But they got the job done. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
They keep themselves out of the bottom position in the group.
Yes.
They stay in contention to get into the playoff bracket, and that's all every team is fighting for at the moment. Make sure they at least reach the main event so they can prove themselves on the TI stage. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow. This is actually the last game of this stream today, so we'll be back again tomorrow for more Dota action. I think we'll personally be on stream 4. We're stream 4ing tomorrow. We have We have win strike games for them to win and just change.
Strike.
See you tomorrow.
Cut.